It's time now for the Pig and the Hen.
Pig and the Hen Show. Pig and the Hen Show.
It's time now for the Pig and the Hen Show.
Pig and the Hen Show. Pig and the Hen Show.
It's time now for the Pig and the Hen.
Pig and the Hen Show. Pig and the Hen Show.
It's time now for the Pig and the Hen Show.
Pig and the Hen Show. Pig and the Hen Show.
Boom Chanka, how's it going, everybody? It's the Flying Pig here on the Pig and the Hen Show, joined once again by our man in Guangzhou, China, Henry Hotspur, and as you can see already, he's back on the Beantowns. How you doing, Hen? All right?
Yeah, I'm good. I mean, come on, give us a break. I mean, it was good whilst it lasted. I was still at work. It's now It's pretty much Chinese New Year. I'm not working. It's like, of course, I'm going to have a drink, and I celebrate the new year coming in, the year of the rat. We're coming out of the year of the pig. Of course, I'm celebrating. Who wants the year of the pig? Do you know what I mean? Nobody likes pigs, and we got the rat.
Pigs are a very, very intelligent animal, have you know, mate?
Yeah, whatever.
Lovable. Everyone loves a pig. You never seen that movie, Babe?
I have, to be fair. I pretty much cried.
So who doesn't like pigs? Everyone loves pigs, mate. Okay.
Certainly a bit of bacon and sausage.
But I don't blame you, mate. You did pretty well, to be fair. How many weeks was that? Like 3 weeks without drinking, yeah?
In all seriousness, it was 2 weeks and a few days, which made the difference. It definitely. I was feeling great, and then I had a few drinks, and then I've been drinking every night since. No, it's not been quite that bad, but I think I need to be at work to be in that mentality. Certainly, when it comes to the time off work.
Yeah.
It's celebration time here, or things. So it's got to be done. Have a few drinks, But I'll be on my best behaviour tonight. Do not worry.
You're absolutely fine, mate. A couple of people happy about it anyway. I mean, Alex Rudders just sent a super chat in straight at the start. How he's going, the Ruddinator. Thanks for stopping by. He comments and he just simply says drunken hen. So I think that's a positive. I think he's like, yeah, drunken hen. That's good. Gungshi's put in here, good job, hen. Back on the beers. Do you know what I mean? So, Alex Rincon as well. Alex Rincon, how you doing, mate? He comments, year of the rat, the same year the Scousers may win the league. Not a coincidence. I like that one, Alex.
It's so true, isn't it?
So true.
So true.
Year of the rat and the Scousers are going to lift the title. It makes sense. It's just a shame it's not like the year of the bin dippers. That would make more sense, but... shout out to everybody that's joining us in here for the Pig and the Hen Show today, live this Wednesday afternoon. I'm talking to you, Skipping Tax. I'm talking to you, Illy United, Marek Stachowski, Archie, the Rincon and the Ruddinator, Ian T, Illy United, John Mitten, Erhan Aksu, Anti-Turtles, Nick Pendragon, and everybody else. Thanks for joining us. If you are tuned in watching live right now, smash a cheeky little like on this video.
Skipping tax, is that someone?
Yes, skipping tax. They ain't paying any tax, mate. I like that one. That's brilliant. Hello to you, Damir Lasina, Sumit Sarkar, Sam Ingram, Thines, bunch of legends joining us for the live show today. So Henry, mate, where do we begin on the show today, man? I mean, I guess we should start with maybe just how shite United are run as a football club, mate. The fact that it is actually the 22nd of January now, and we haven't signed any players, when we have a skeleton squad, when we have loads of injury issues, when we know we need to strengthen, when we should have strengthened in the summer. We've got Potato Boy upstairs twiddling his fingers. Don't know what he's doing with them, but he's doing some messed up things with them rather than actually making some calls and getting some players through the door for Manchester United, it seems. Because we're crying out for players. We've got, a week or so left of the window. We haven't got any, mate. We still haven't got any. Bruno Fernandes is playing for Sporting Lisbon, still up to this day. So what is going on?
Certainly the story of this transfer window so far has been Manchester United, linked with, of course, Bruno Fernandes. I'm reading you linked with a handful of players actually at the moment. So it's all, everybody's eyes is on Manchester United, including a manager. I mean, I keep reading articles about Pochettino waiting in the midst. So we're just going to have to wait to see what happens. I don't think that's happening right now. I think Solskjær's going to be at the helm there until the end of the season. I mean, I know that's what you wanted, Pig, anyway.
I don't want that
I think
Pochettino melt,
Bruno
mate. That
Fernandes.
Spurs reject. Nah.
Right, well, there we go. There we go. Okay. Bruno Fernandes, I think it could still possibly happen. I mean, it's I don't know. There's a lot of speculation around it, but I mean, surely it's going to happen because I haven't heard anyone say it's not going to happen. That's always good news. It's always good news when people keep talking about it. It will probably just cross the line in the same way that Christian Eriksen going to Inter Milan will probably cross the line too, because people keep talking about it. Someone's going to say no, or it's going to happen. So at the moment, they're both going to happen.
Potentially. I mean, apparently it's been stalled a little bit for a couple of reasons, like we haven't quite agreed the price. We want to pay 50, they want 65 or 70 or something like that. Just small technicalities. I'm sure we will meet them somewhere in the middle in the negotiations phase with that, which should all be done and dusted by now anyway. Also, George Mendes, the football agent representing him, I think there's some issues with, it's just that there's still a bit of stuff to sort out in this deal. And what's very annoying about it is we could have done with him at the start of the window. That's the thing that pisses me off. Whereas what's going to happen is we'll probably usher him through the door literally the hour before the transfer window closes. It's got that written all over it. I mean, I hope that doesn't happen. I hope we get him, in the next couple of days. But the way people are talking about it, the way the media is representing it, you would think the deal would have been done a long time ago. So the fact that it is being drawn out and it is still going on, it doesn't fill me the most confidence. I think maybe there could be something it falls down on at some point. So I know you're saying it's just a formality, and I hope that it is. But why is it taking so long? The player wants to come, Sporting want to sell, we need to buy. What is the problem then? Is the problem with our owners? Is it another Erling Haaland situation where we just cannot agree per the transfer terms and everything with the opposition club? So I don't know. I just feel like with our board in charge at the moment, Woodward and also the owners and everything, I just feel like they don't really know their arse from their elbow. They don't fill me with any confidence that they can recruit properly for this football club, because they haven't done ever really. And this is another shining example of leaving Ollie up shit creek without a paddle. They could have done it in the summer and got some midfielders, and they didn't. And now we're desperately crying out for it even more so. It's nearly end of the window. We're well over halfway through the season now. I mean, they're jokers, man. They really are. They've pissed me off so much with this window. As if I didn't hate those guys enough for destroying this great football club and leaving us behind the likes of the other top rivals in the league. Now I really fucking hate them. Do you know what I mean? They're absolute scum. They are. They should have got this all wrapped up ages ago, man. It's incompetence from the top down.
No, I completely understand. I mean, the January transfer window for me, it is a window of opportunity. I mean, things don't always happen, and I don't think you should go out and buy players for the sake of buying players just because you can. It's a funny window. Having said that, Bruno Fernandes, as you said, the club want to sell him. He wants to go. United need him. We've been talking about it for last couple of transfer windows, at least, haven't we already? So it should be happening. Obviously, Levy notorious at Spurs for taking his time on things, but we've gone out and loaned a player already. We've made our moves.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's holding out on Eriksen. When it's a player leaving, I think fair play. We should hold out for the maximum amount.
Yeah.
So, and also another massive problem at Manchester United at the moment is the fact that Rashford is injured. And obviously, I sympathise. Kane is injured. I think that's more of an issue for Tottenham. But Rashford has been your best player. He's your top goal scorer. How long's he out for?
Well, it's been reported around about...
It's worrying.
Yeah, it's apparently around about 3 months. He said something like he should...
Wow, 3 months?
Like he should be back before the end of the season, hopefully. So
seriously,
mate, it's a calamity,
awful.
mate. I know he's basically our best, most effective player, isn't he? Yeah, he's pretty much our most effective goal scorer this season. 14 league goals, 22 in all competitions.
Unbelievable.
Injured.
Well, once we stop talking about transfers, we're going to have to talk about Rashford.
Let's get back onto Rashford. Absolutely.
That's a big problem for you. But really, you should have had Fernandes in by now,
yeah.
and then you could be. I think you need another player because Rashford's out. This is a funny one. I read Paul Ince seems to think that you should go and get Danny Ings. I don't know. I don't know what you think of that.
Well, I mean, he's been a goal scorer in the past, hasn't he? But I mean, no, you're not up to the stand. I mean, if we're going to get somebody like that, like a backup option that's realistic or a temporary option, then I'd rather go and get Callum Wilson. To be fair, right now, which I think is feasibly possible. But you know, that's just a backup option. This is the thing, we got our pants pulled down with that whole Erling Haaland thing, who went on to score a bloody hat-trick on his bloody debut in bloody Dortmund, showing the world what a quality player he potentially can be, and United have missed out on him. Spurs spent a bunch of money in the summer transfer window, bought a good few players in, just got another player on loan, Glazer Fernandes, strengthening their ranks significantly, especially in the midfield. United, on the other hand, bag of shit, mate. Our owners are a joke, man. They really are. Spurs got a new stadium. United's is falling apart. Do you know what I mean? Like, why? How is that possible? You would think the club with the resources of Manchester United would be cutting edge, mate. Cutting edge in terms of facilities and stuff like that. But we're not anymore because of the Glazers. It's all down to the Glazers, man. What can I say? I mean, your club, your owners, you know, Daniel Levy, the way he seems to run that club, he's done it properly over the years, man. He's never thrown too much at it. They're just sort of doing it progressively well with, you know, the odd transfers here and there. It's only really this last window they spent a significant amount of money. Before that, it's always really tight purse strings at Spurs, but in a good way. It's not like they're not prepared to spend.
Obscenely so, though.
Yeah, okay.
It was pretty bad, though. There were times where I really felt sorry for Mauricio, because it was kind of like, who have we got in for the last 18 months? Lucas Moura, and that was it.
Yeah.
That was literally it. And I know we had great players, we had a great team, but still, you always need change. You always need change. You can't just stick with exactly the same players for 2 years.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
No, you need fresh competition.
There's always going to be. There's always needs to be fresh competition. There's always going to be a player or two that actually does need to leave.
Yeah,
simple
agree.
as that.
But then saying that, though, I mean, Pochettino did brilliantly with Spurs until they gave him a bit of money to spend and get a couple of players in. Maybe that upset the status quo that was at Spurs. Do you know what I mean, though? These couple of players came in, and then suddenly Poch is just having a nightmare. So I don't know. I know what you mean, though. You've got to have competition for places and fresh faces coming in all the time at a football club. There's always injuries. There's always other problems. There's all these competitions to play in. Which it just goes to highlight how much better, you know, and I don't say this lightly, but how much better a run club Tottenham Hotspur is compared to Manchester United right now. Maybe the only thing we can beat them on is commercial deals, but that's just because we've got a big brand name, with a global brand probably that helps us in that regard. But in actual terms of everything, every other aspect, the recruitment, the squad development, the coaching even, you know, the facilities, everything at the football club of Spurs at this moment in time is better than United's, which is just crazy to say, man. But yeah, what can I say? You've still got our reject manager, and we don't want your reject manager, so... Well, a lot of people do.
Okay,
that's
so you already decided. That's an interesting one. I mean, I'm not fussed either way. You know, I'm over Poch. You know what I mean? It is what it is. It's an ex-girlfriend, and she's available if you want her. Okay. What do you
know you want to still hit that. You know you want to still want a piece on Poch. Come on, you go to a party. You didn't realise Poch was going to be there, mate. But you go in there, Poch is standing over there on his own in the corner. You know, drinking. I don't know what's an Argentinian lager. Do you know any? Donkey piss. There you go. Drinking some donkey piss. Pochettino's in the corner. You meet eyes across the room. There's a look away. There's electricity there. There's feelings. All these old feelings are being dragged up. Do you know what I mean, man? Don't tell me you wouldn't be leaving with Pochettino ending the night, son.
And then I see the Poch with his dirty hands all over her bum, and I'm thinking, I don't like the look of it.
That's it. But then, just as you're walking out, with Pochettino on your arm, guess what? Frickin' Ed Woodward turns up, doesn't he? Pinches you right off her. Or the other way around. Anyway, what are we talking about, mate? This has gone very strange.
This is very strange.
That's what you get on the Pig of the Head show sometimes. You get there's an element of homoeroticism going on all the time.
You wonder why I sit in the dark?
You're killing me over here, mate. Yeah, I know, yeah, true. And you've always got a beer on the go, mate. Like, what is that for? You know what I mean? It's actually just a little bottle of lubricant. It carries around. Oh, shit. Right, anyway. It's taking a turn for the worst of the show.
What are we talking about?
Okay, right. Anyway, Gungshi has sent in a super chat just to change something here. Thank you, Gungshi. He's commented.
Just to break the ice.
And he has said, Gungshi Fa Tse, brackets, a Chinese New Year greeting. Note the gungshi at the start. Good to see you back on the beers, Henry. Are you aware of this, Henry? The gungshi Fa Tse?
The Gunshi fart say.
Fat say?
Farts?
Fat Tse?
Oh, it's nothing to do with farting.
Fat Sai, possibly?
Fast high. Fast high.
Fat Sai. It's like
That
a
is
greeting.
something I used to say when I used to do taekwondo. But that wasn't a Korean thing. It was, I had like a Chinese instructor. This was a long time ago, by the way, when I was physically fit.
It's...
Fat high, fat high, fat high. That's what I used to say when I was kicking the pads.
Oh, okay, so...
I'm sure that's not what he means,
well,
is it?
maybe. Maybe it's a Chinese greeting. It's sort of like, hello, Jimmy. Have some of that, son. Do you know what I mean? Like, Fat Sai
Maybe,
in Taekwondo.
maybe. There we go.
Crikey, thank you so much for that, though, Gungshi. Much appreciated, my friend. Shout out to you all who are tuning in right now. JP, I could see one of the channel members, an absolute legend of the channel. Thank you very, very much. Razerk, how are you doing, Razerk? Thanks for stopping by here. Everybody else as well. Nick Pendragon, if you are tuning in, please do smack a cheeky little like on this video. Nick comments, says, Mr. Pig, are United broke and don't have the money to spend after the board has taken so much, and we are still paying off crap players who have left, / we only finished paying off Moyes last week. I mean, I think in turn... What are you laughing at him?
Sorry. Is that funny? Or Moyes has still been taking payments?
Apparently, I mean, that's it.
After Van Gaal, after Jose Mourinho, after Solskjær, and he's only just been finished getting paid.
Sounds like it.
And now he's taken another job at West Ham. How convenient. He knows how to keep the money coming in, doesn't he, that ginger goblin?
That's it. You can't really fault his entrepreneurship, mate. Go to United for 8 months, take about 15 million quid out the bloody club, and now he's still managing it, in the Premier League. So it is crazy. But if that's true, that's messed up. We're still paying Alexis Sanchez a significant amount to play for another team. We have had a nightmare running this club over the last few years. I think money is definitely tighter than it used to be. Not just that, but also the fact that the owners are not so freely prepared to spend that money in improving the squad. They're prepared to spend it just to, appease the fans to a certain degree, but they're not really truly improving like the facilities, stadiums, the squad significantly out there. And when they have spent money, they've perhaps not spent it correctly, which is maybe why they're reluctant to spend more money. But that's what happens when you literally have a human potato in charge as chief executive, and you don't have a director of football, and you've got an ex-frickin' merchant banker doing all of your recruitment and stuff. Of course, you're not going to be able to compete with, some of the other teams around world football who do have a great director of football, who do have a football man at the helm, or several football men at the helm in that area of the club, and can bring them in. I mean, that's the really, really big problem. I just want to talk about this, then, because Sack Woodward was trending on Twitter this week, Sack Woodward, and I would like to say to all United fans, keep it going. Tweet it out every single bloody day. Hashtag Sack Woodward, hashtag Glazers out, because that's the only way anybody's ever going to take any sort of notice, is that if it's just complete disdain from the fans from all quarters. That's the way I look at it. I think United fans really need to let the Glazers know that Ed's not up to the job. It's one thing, we can't get the Glazers out of the club. They own the club, they're milking the club, they're the rightful owners of this football club, like it or love it, hate it, whatever. They are the owners. But Ed Woodward, you can do something about that. You can do something about his position in the football club. The Glazers must know, everyone must know that Ed Woodward is not up to the task. We need to let them know that regularly, every single bloody day, so that they do make a change, that they do put him back into some sort of other role in the football club, like a financial role or a commercial deals role or whatever it is that he has shown some acumen for in the past. But in terms of recruitment, in terms of decisions in the footballing world, I say we need to get a director of football immediately. So the fans need to let the owners know about it. We can't force them out of this club. We can't make them sell up to, some Chinese businessman or whoever that's going to benefit the club more. We can't get them to do that. But what we can do is get them to sack that freaking potato twat, Ed Woodward. In my opinion, that's feasible.
As far as the Glazers go, if they want to hang on to Manchester United for however long, then they can do so for however long they choose to. Is that correct?
Well, yeah,
there's no kind of rules. There's no rules like, you can only own a club for a certain amount of time.
That's it. That's their football club. They can pass it down to their generations if they want. If they're the majority stakeholders in it, which they are, it's like, they've got full control of the football club. Now, you could make it to the point where it's an untenable position for them, where the fans are just literally vitriolic every single time talking about, verging on threats of life and stuff like that, which might convince them to sell. But other than that, they've got no legal obligation or requirement, or the Premier League cannot make them sell. So, yeah.
Thing is, United fans are a little bit in and out on this because I remember a few seasons back where it was all the yellow and green scarves, etc. Like, you be a Norwich City fans. I mean, I don't even understand it, but something about becoming a Norwich City fan means that you're anti-Glazer, does it not?
Yeah, right? That's right.
And I don't really see that so much now.
Well,
why is that stopped?
If you actually watch the Norwich City game, because we played them the other day, it was like most of the stadium looked like Norwich City supporters, to be fair. So I think people are keeping that up. It's just that, maybe it's not 100%, but I think most people are still rocking the old green and gold going to games.
Is that some kind of like original Manchester United?
Yeah, that's the original Manchester United colours. Yeah, before it went red and all that. So that is what it's to do with, and obviously pre-Glazers and I mean it's there's all these chants green and gold should never be sold and all this stuff. Like people are just not happy with the ownership and the leadership and the way that the football clubs run with the Glazers at the helm, and I fully understand it because they have not done anything good for this football club. Like, literally, rather than what we needed is, like, I don't know, like Dominic Toretto from the Fast and Furious, right? Who just rocks up. He wants a 10-second car. He's found some, some rust bucket, essentially. But he's put this new engine in it. He's put these new parts on it. He's restoring it into its former glory, right? That's what we need. But instead, what we've got is basically like a Nicolas Cage in Gone in 60 Seconds car booster type who's taken the freaking wheels off of us and is now just scrapping bits and bobs and parts and ripping bits off of it and selling it on the black market. That's basically what's going on with the Glazers at the wheel, mate.
Would they sell? Would they sell if the right person came along, or do you think they're more than happy with what they've got?
Well, they definitely don't need to sell, Henry. That's the thing. Like I said, they are making a shitload of money out of this football club, out of these fans, out of this global fan base we've got. They're sucking huge amounts of cash out of the football club, so they don't want to go anywhere. But if a big offer came in, like, I don't know, if some Saudi prince or somebody came in and said, look, here's $4 billion, they are businessmen at the end of the day. They bought the club with $800 million worth of debt. If they can cash out, make a couple of bill profit, I'm sure they will do that. Well,
this is the thing. I mean, Gunchy, if you're listening, mate, thanks for the super chats and all, but what you need to be doing is saving all that up and plonking it straight at the Glazers' feet, and maybe we could get this club sorted out.
Oh, I won't give them any bloody... Or you mean buying it off of them, yeah? Go on, Gungshi. Come on, Gungshi. Buy the football club. Gungshi. Appoint me chief exec. Do you know what I mean? I can't do a worse job than that potato twat. Well, maybe I can, but no, I don't think I could. Gungshi actually super chats here and says, in Cantonese, it's Kung Hei Fa Soy or something. Do you know what that means?
I know no Cantonese whatsoever, even though I do live in a well, the locals here do speak Cantonese, of course they do, but no, I know none. I literally know none apart from umgoi, which means hello. It kind of mean like if you're sat in a restaurant where they basically all speak Cantonese, then you can say that and it gets their attention. That's all I know.
Oh, okay. So, like, xie and all that, that's Mandarin, is it?
Xie is Mandarin. That is thank you.
Fair play, that's about the only thing I know, mate. Actually, no, I know 4 other words. Ma, and ma. They're 4 different words, apparently.
And what do they mean?
One means mum.
Yes.
One means, I don't know, mate. What do they mean? Do you know what they mean?
One means mum.
Yeah.
One means horse. One means...
you don't want to get them too mixed up, do you?
Yeah, I know.
Right, horse.
One means the thing that you say at the end of a question so people know it's a question.
Okay.
So if you say ni hao, ni means you. Hao means good. So ni hao means you good, but it's kind of like you say you good instead of hello, you good. But if you say ni hao ma, it's kind of like you good, are you? It's kind of like ma's like a little are you at the end.
Okay.
So it's like it's making it into a question. So it's kind of like you good, are you? If that's the best way to describe
Awesome.
it. That is my best translation right there.
Mate, I'm loving this, mate. We should have a weekly segment, Henry's Mandarin lessons. You know what I mean?
Yeah, oh, here we go, new segment. There we go. Yeah, I'll teach you one little bit each
One little
time.
bit each week. That's not a bad idea, mate. I'd love
That's
to.
it, and you can come up with some silly little sound piece for it, couldn't you? It's probably going to be something that I find unacceptable.
Yeah, no, it will be something Chinese related, mate, for sure. But in the most tasteful of ways. Let me just read this comment out from Gungshi, because, it's the same comment, actually, but I missed the end bit. He says, Spurs will win something in 2029, the year of the rooster. Hopefully it's a lot longer than that, Gungshi, but still. Thanks very much for getting in there. Hey, just want to say there's 85 legends tuned in right now, live to the Pig of the Head show today. Do the Pig of the Head a favour, smash a cheeky little like on this video. Let's see if we can smash, 70 likes by the end of the video. That'd be freaking awesome. Rudd suggests that we do Henry's word of the day. That's a good idea, like a Chinese word of the day. Do you know what I mean? Hey, Henry, tell me a Chinese swear word immediately.
Malaga B.
Malaga B.
Yeah,
what does that mean?
You got to say it with more oomph than that.
What, like this? Malaga B.
No, Malaga B.
What it sounded like when you said it. What does that mean then, Hen?
No, it's because you're tone deaf.
Yeah, I am pretty much tone deaf. It's actually a stigmatism I've had since birth. So I appreciate if you don't mention that, thanks, mate.
Yeah, that's exactly why I did.
Crikey. All right, anyway, well, let's get back onto the show then. You wanted to talk about Marcus Rashford, didn't you, Hen? I'm gutted that Rashford is injured. That's a huge loss to United. It's a huge loss to England as well. Because although he may be back before the end of the season, it's like Kane. It's like they're not going to be in their best form, their best fitness, their best physical place, just coming fresh back from an injury for the Euros.
Well, absolutely. I mean, England without Kane and Rashford is almost not worth watching, is it? You know what I mean? That is awful. Yeah. Those two players are basically,
it's like eggs without the bacon, players. Mate. Do you know what I mean? It's like
rice
pudding without the milk.
No, it is eggs without the bacon. You're right. You got it right first time.
Yeah, so...
No, it's bacon without the eggs. It's bacon without the eggs, actually. The eggs are the important part.
Absolutely.
There we go.
But yeah, I think it's a huge loss for United. He was obviously our goal scorer this season. 14 league goals. He was looking on course to get over 20 league goals for us this season, which would have been an amazing achievement. 21 years of age, playing out wide most of the time. But unfortunately, he has got an injury, and there's a lot of people who are blaming Ole Gunnar Solskjær about this one, actually, and I don't know if you're aware of this, but the injury was picked up midweek in the FA Cup against Wolves, and he was brought on as a late substitute to try and win us the game. It was 0-0. We were struggling. We were really struggling to create. Solskjær made a couple of changes, brought Rashford on. Rashford didn't last on the pitch very long because he got a double stress fracture in his back. Now, there was some speculation to say, now I don't know how people really truly know this, to say that Rashford was carrying a little nagging injury to do with his back, like a single stress fracture. This is what people are saying before the game.
Really?
Well, apparently this is what people are saying, and a lot of people are annoyed with Ole Gunnar Solskjær because everyone's blaming Ole for bringing him off the bench and causing the injury, effectively saying that he's risked Marcus Rashford, he's thought of himself ahead of the safety of the player, and all this stuff, which I think maybe, it's a little bit extreme. Fair enough if Rashford is carrying a serious knock in his back and then Solskjær puts him on there. But do we really know that? Sure, maybe Rashford was just 100% fit before that. He was rested.
This comes down to the medical staff. I mean, surely they're the ones that should be saying he's okay to play or not. Yeah. And if they've said he's okay to play, and if after let's say that they did an investigation into this, if they weren't happy that the fact that Rashford is injured now, then it falls on the blame of the medical staff involved, having said that he's good to go on the bench, he's good to come on and play, because if they're doing their job properly, and if it is, if there's a strong chance that Rashford's going to come on and make his injury more severe, if there's already a single stress fracture, as you say, then that's not good enough. But I doubt that's the case. I don't want to just start speculating. I mean, what's probably happened is Rashford feels fine. The medical staff said that, he's got a little niggle, but it should be fine. Solskjær said, "Do you feel okay?" "Yeah, okay, let's do it." And it's unlucky. I hope that's what it is. And if it's not that, then question marks need to be raised on the
this
medical
is something
advice there.
This is something I missed. So Archie has said that his match interview, Ollie said he had a stress fracture before, and now he has 2. It's facts. So that's what he's saying. But how long has he been playing with a stress fracture? And obviously, if you do put a player on in that situation, you're not expecting him, with 15, 20 minutes left of the game, to pick up an injury like that. You're just bringing him on for some reinforcements. And if he had a stress fracture in his back or whatever, a single one, I'm sure he's had that for a little while, right? Like, I doubt it was just from the last game.
I'm no expert on male physique, as you know.
Yeah. Yeah, Razak says, you don't listen to the player, you pull him out. That's management for months, pig. So, it's a tricky one. I mean, I can see why there's a little element of blame attached to Ole Gunnar Solskjær then if we're all aware of Rashford's back injury before putting him on there. There's no real need to bring him on there. I know we're drawing in the game, it's nice to get the result, but you've not started him in the game for a reason. You're giving him a rest, saving him for that Liverpool game for a reason. Do you know what I mean? So, but then if he comes on, doesn't pick up an injury, scores the winner, then you say it's a masterstroke from Ole Gunnar. So you can't really win. Do you know what I mean? You cannot really win. People are going to criticise him, if he does or if he doesn't. So, but it is a big loss. United need him more than ever right now because we don't have a...
Well, I hope that it's just a media blowing something out of nothing because do you know what? If there is any truth in it, then it doesn't look good on Ollie. The other players won't like it. If the manager is even just slightly to blame for that injury, that does not leave a good taste in anyone's mouth.
No, I agree, mate. It's true. It'd be like after you when you meet Pochettino at that party again. Do you know what I mean? Crikey. Ian T comments, if the club knew we had a stress fracture, then it's negligence on the club. You don't fuck about with those kind of injuries. Yeah, that's what you were saying as well, Hen, like the medical staff.
It's on the medical expertise there, surely. Yeah. And if they're not good enough to actually call the shots, then it's the hierarchy that's actually, calling the shots. Well, there needs to be someone on top of that medical team saying, look, he's not playing. If you're going to play him and something goes wrong, you're not going to blame me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's no one that's come out and said anything, is there, from that side of Manchester United?
Well, it leaves United in a very tricky position, though, Hen, because as you know, we are lacking players at the moment. We do have a skeleton squad. He was our goal scorer. Martial's done pretty well recently, to be fair. But Rashford was the real performer of the season for us up there. And now he's injured for months. Now what? We didn't sign Haaland, so we're going to have to sign some sort of a forward player to help out, right?
You've been linked with Piatek randomly. I thought Tottenham were in for him. I read an article saying that he was coming for a medical. So I don't know if that was bullshit or I was dreaming it. I don't know. But yeah,
Piatek seems like a very good player. To be fair, I definitely would take him. Timo Werner, that's another player I'd absolutely love to see come to United from the Bundes. But they're not as realistic. I think United need to be looking at some, like a good players, but players that would be jumping at the chance to play for United right now. Like Jimenez over at Wolves, that might be a realistic signing, or Callum Wilson at Bournemouth to come in and just be a sort of backup player and help out for the remainder of the season. You really struggle
to get any of these players. At the end of the day, Bournemouth need Callum Wilson. They need every player they've got. They've had an injury crisis. Yes, they've just won their last game, but they're sat in 19th. They're not in any position to sell any players right now. No. And Wolves, Jimenez, they're not going to sell Jimenez. I mean, I don't know what contract he's on, but if he's got any contract left, there's no way. Not you haven't got a hope in hell of signing a player like Jimenez for Wolves right now.
It is difficult. United are not that team that we used to be, where you can just go to these clubs and you can just poach the players because everyone's desperate to play for United and challenge.
Spurs would take Jimenez. Liverpool would probably take Jimenez. He's been a fantastic striker this season. Absolutely.
Yeah, and also you have to remember that, like, Wolves and United, if we're being totally honest right now, I mean, what is there separating Wolves and United? I don't know, a few points, six points in the league? It's like, it's not that much golfing class right now. We're not in the Champions League, we're not challenging for things, so it's not that much different playing for United than it is for Wolves at the moment. Apart from Wolves, there's less pressure, and he's probably settled. So, I don't know, you'd only be coming for the money to United at this moment in time, I think. That is the big problem. But we need to sign younger players, hungrier players. Another thing I just want to mention, actually, and discuss is that Inter Milan are in talks with United for the potential signing of Utd Chong, who's obviously one of our young up-and-comers who sort of struggled to break into the team. And when he has been given first-team opportunities by Oli this season, he's sort of looked quite poor. But I was very impressed with him pre-season. I thought, you know what, we've got the next future Ruud Gullit here or something. He was really, really influential in the pre-season games. But pre-season doesn't really mean anything. We know that by how poor we started the season after a good pre-season. But what I would say is, it's a shame if he goes, because he's one of those players that I could just see playing for United in the future if he does get better and can find his way into the team. But it's another player who potentially could be going to Inter Milan. What is going on with Inter Milan? It's like they literally couldn't sign more Manchester United players if they tried, could they really? They're desperate for United rejects. They are soon becoming Manchester United C team over there in Italy, you know? Like our feeder. Not a feeder
Well, they want
club,
all your
but
rejects, plus they want any player that's linked with you. I mean, Christian Eriksen is on the verge of going there. So it's a funny old team, isn't it? It's basically how United could have been a season or so ago if you'd sold and bought certain players.
Yes, well, maybe it's like you said, like a bargaining chip. We saw this recently a couple of weeks ago. Gedson Fernandes, the media put it out. Gedson Fernandes signing for United, could be signing for United, goes and signs for Spurs on loan, right? Now, was it Benfica he came from? Was it them them putting that out to the media effectively, using their sort of channels and all that
Possibly.
sort of stuff to get it out there to increase the competition for the signing of him and maybe make it a little bit more urgent? Do you know what I mean? I could see Inter doing that right now. They've put a story out, we might sign Chong if we can't get Eriksen or whatever. It's like, okay, well, Tottenham like, do you know what? Well, we better accept that £12 million offer then, because otherwise they're just going to lose interest and go and sign Chong. Like, clubs do that all the time. So even though there is this initial contact or these negotiations for Chong, it doesn't actually mean that he will be leaving. But yeah, I mean, there's lots of players at United that I would like to see leave. Chong is not really one of those right now. I mean, he's young. Maybe he's not looked as good as he could this season. In terms of pecking order, he's right down there. You know, Angel Gomez is ahead of him. There's lots of players that are ahead of Chong at the moment. So from his point of view, I can understand wanting to move. But you know, if I'm United, there's no real reason to sell Chong right now. Jesse Lingard, sure, sell Jesse Lingard, but not Chong necessarily. So it's a bit of a strange one, anyway.
I mean, I just have to say, I think apologies to Fernandes there, the Spurs Fernandes. I believe it's Jedson. I know I started saying Gedson last week, but
Jedson,
haven't heard I believe so. I thought
it was Jose's son. Do you know what I mean? Because isn't Jose paternal father of Gedson Fernandes? That's why he went to Spurs over United. What's the only logical reason, isn't it?
I have absolutely no idea. Absolutely no
what
idea.
What am I about? Fairness. Anyway, thank you, Alex Rincon here, Alex Rinconator. Check out his band On Better Terms on all platforms. Oh yeah, check out his band. And he said, like the video. Please do the Pig of the Hen a favour if you're tuning in right now. Do smash a cheeky little like on it. We've got about 100 legends tuned in live right now. So thank you for being here. I'm talking to you, Casey Styles, MNDFLNSLGN. Bit of a mouthful there. Viking Red, great to see you. Daily Bits, and everybody else, you know, thanks very much for joining us. Do help us out. It helps us out on the algorithm on YouTube.
Bits.
Called Daily Bits, yeah.
Get your bits out daily.
Get your bits out daily. I've got to read their comment now, seeing as you just made fun of the name. So Daily Bits comments, the league is in a bad state at the moment. Spurs, Arsenal, Chelsea, Man United, all garbage. You have minnows now popular. Yeah. Well, minnows, you know, some of the lower teams, they can get in a good run. They can perform just as good. I mean, you know, if you look at some of the teams that are up there at the moment, I mean, let me get the league table up here. So, like Sheffield United, they're minnows. I think everyone will agree. They're in 7th place right now. Wolves, sorry, I said Wolves are 6 points behind United. They're not. I was thinking of Burnley, who we're playing tonight. It's actually Wolves are on the same points as United with the same games played. So in terms of Wolves and United, who's the better team right now? Well, they're level pegging on points right now. So like you were saying, and it probably is difficult to prize these players away from their teams right now, especially if they're doing well and they're settled, like Maddison at Leicester. It's never going to happen, is it? Not right now.
In all seriousness, the two teams that realistically could potentially drop out of the top 4 if they started to have calamities would be Leicester and Chelsea. For me, the only teams that could possibly break into the top 4 are Manchester United, Sheffield United, Wolves, and Tottenham Hotspur.
I think that's accurate.
I know that sounds crazy, but at the end of the day, Sheffield United are solid. I mean, I know they just lost to Manchester City, but City took until the 70th something minute to score.
Yeah, only 1-0 away. Yeah, tough game.
And their defense has been ridiculous. I mean, I've been I don't know if you've been playing the fantasy football this season, but it actually gives you a very good indication of which teams are doing well. And the Sheffield United defenders have scored, the second most amount of points after a couple of Liverpool defenders, surely simply for the fact that they've had so many clean sheets, or they only let in goals now and then. They are rock solid, Sheffield United, ridiculously so, and it's just beggars belief. Actually, it's like, who are they? I mean, no disrespect to Sheffield United. I know they've got a lot of history, but they did well in the Championship last year. Season upon season, I know that they've been fighting to get back into the Premier League, but it hasn't really happened. Suddenly they come up and they're right up there. It's madness. Same with Wolves.
They're doing incredible. I mean, if you actually look, Sheffield United currently are 7 points off of Chelsea, who are in 4th place. So they're 7 points off of Champions League spaces, which for a club like Sheffield United is pretty amazing. They were in it, obviously, in the top 4 previously in the season. But yeah, I agree with you, Head. I think the clubs you mentioned are the only ones that could dislodge the likes of Chelsea, the likes of Leicester from the top 4. In terms of realism, if United win tonight and beat Burnley, which we've got to do, on the back of that awful Liverpool result, which I'm glad we've not talked about at all in this show. But on the back of that, we've got to beat Burnley tonight, and we've got to... that would actually close the gap between us and Chelsea to just 3 points, having played the same amount of games, which I think most United fans would be reasonably happy with, considering the shite squad we've got and also the struggle we had at the start of the season and all that good stuff. So I think being 3 points off of Chelsea, they'd be in 4th place, we're 3 points behind. That's a favourable position for United to be in with this end of the season run-in to contend with. If we can sign some decent players before the end of the window, you never know. The hunt for top 4, like you say with Spurs, if you win your game in hand tonight, that will put you on 34 points. That's 6 points off of Chelsea, so you still got a bit of a way to go. But anything can happen in football. Couple of dodgy fixtures, results here and there, everything can change. We were talking about Bournemouth last week, looking like they're being doomed for relegation. Well, they battered Brighton, didn't they? Big game for them. Relegation battle.
Massive,
they beat Brighton.
They
stopped their.
They're still in massive problems down there. It's just one result that they needed.
It's one result, but it's basically put them on 23 points. West Ham, who are outside of the relegation zone above them, are on 23 points. Aston Villa, Brighton, they're on 25 points. So it's like that was a must-win game, and if they win another one, then they'll be out the Reddies. It's like that. Maybe not one game really makes that much difference, but certainly 2-3 results go your way, you can really have a change in your position in the league table. So if we see Chelsea bottle it next game, for instance, and Tottenham win, all of a sudden the likeliness of Tottenham getting top 4 is much higher. So I'm not.
Well, this is it. And when it comes to Chelsea, I mean, they are not consistent this season. They've looked good. They've got great young players, but they're not the finished article. End of the day, this is Lampard's first season. I'm sure he's very happy with what he's doing. I'm not trying to slate what they're doing, but let's just look at this last game that they played, and I'm going to mention this later on in some of our segments. But what was it? Arsenal were down to 10 players in the 20th something minute, and they can't close the game out. Chelsea are not winning week in, week out, and it's it's frustrating for us that teams like Manchester United, Tottenham Hotspur, that we can't just get a winning run on the go, because if we had done, we'd be up there with Chelsea now.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right. Like, it's United and Spurs have just really stuttered this season. Like, we've both won some significant games here and there, and there's been our good moments, but yeah, we've just stuttered. That's the problem. Like, it's not even these teams above us doing amazingly well, apart from Liverpool, really. Everyone slipped up at the top there, but the fact that United and Spurs keep bottling it so often in games they shouldn't, that's the real reason. That's why we're not up there competing, but we're still not that far away. One thing that really annoys me, Hen, and I sent you a message about it yesterday, actually, because I saw it and I was just like, this actually
30
fills
points
my
by
mouth with
Liverpool.
sick. Yeah, we are 30 points behind Liverpool Football Club after 22 games, whatever it is. They've got a game in hand too. I mean, we're 30 points behind the Scousers in January. I mean, it makes me want to be sick.
That is 10 wins, isn't it?
10 wins, yeah. They're 10 wins better than us, mate. Unbelievable. Unreal, that is, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, that is madness. I mean, the reason we haven't spoken about Liverpool, Manchester United, it's like, what's the point? They have won every game. It's not, okay, you didn't play well against Liverpool. You probably could have done a bit better, but you're still in the game.
Still in it,
they should have been battering, but you were still in it right up until the end. And then obviously Salah comes in with a goal. Great assist by Alisson there. I think looking at Tottenham, that was Tottenham at home against Liverpool. I think we gave them a better game when we lost 1-0. But at the end of the day, they've beaten every team in every game apart from when they came to Old Trafford. So
yeah, they're incredible, really.
What else is there to say about it? They're just too ridiculously good.
Yeah, Klopp's done something special there, to be fair. Like, they're just the team unity they seem to have. The teamwork, the effort that they put out there. Forget they're all world-class, quality players. Just the
a machine,
team spirit, man.
It's a machine.
They're a proper team, and I hate to say that. Any Scousers watching, enjoy your year. Enjoy the year of the rat. Enjoy Liverpool lifting the title this year, if it does go on and happen, because it will be well-deserved. And I hate to say that, but it's well-deserved. The style that they're playing.
They don't even feel human, and I don't say that in a derogatory way. I mean, that's a compliment, because it's almost like anytime anyone comes up against them, they're playing against machines like Terminators out there. That's how it feels.
We need to sign John Connor, don't we, mate?
Something like that. Honestly, it's them mechanical. That's how good they are at the moment.
I'm with you there, man. It's like Fergie. We used to have like the T100 machine. But Liverpool, the Pep Guardiola came in with the fucking T500 or whatever, messing shit up. But now, look, Jurgen Klopp's just unleashed these T1000s on us, mate. These liquid metal motherfuckers, and we don't know how to adapt to these liquid motherfuckers. You know what I mean?
No, I think you got it wrong. End of the day, it was City. It was Guardiola with the T1000.
Nah.
Okay,
not having that.
That was the tiki-taka liquid kind of like all over the place.
fluid football, yeah.
But now it's to be honest, the Terminator series went way downhill, didn't it? So I don't even know what the newest version is.
I think there was a T800 as well. T100, T800, T1000. I don't know, mate. Just T with a number is fine.
Well, there we go.
But yeah,
I'm just thinking of Jurgen Klopp doing Arnie impressions now.
Oh yeah, you could definitely make a comparison there, couldn't you? Do you know what I mean? We got to get to the chopper. We got to lift the Premier League title this year.
There we go.
Oh dear. Come with me if you want to live. Hey, I just want to give a shout out to a couple of super chatters in here that I may have missed here. GTA Red Star Gaming, top man, thank you so much for getting in here. He comments, Gomez leaving free is ludicrous. So if we're talking about Gomez, what are we talking about here? Angel Gomez leaving on a free? What's happening? Have I just not? I thought I had my ear to the grindstone here, but obviously I don't follow United enough. What's going on with Angel Gomez there, GTA Red Star? Thank you very much for your super chat, mate. If that is the case,
lost a player.
I don't know. He's saying Gomez leaving free is ludicrous. Maybe he's got a contract ending at the end of the season. I don't know. Please, more information on that, lads and lasses. Mark Sin also comments with some Chinese characters here. Great to see you, Mark Sin, by the way. Thanks for stopping by. But some Chinese characters. He's got a message for you, Hen, but I have no idea what it says, my friend. Shall I put it into a translate?
I don't know, but I just had a quick question. I mean, is Marquez gone back to Mark Sin, is he, after I commented last week?
No, he's still the anonymous Mark S, to be fair. He probably resents the fact I'm calling him by his full name. You know what I mean?
I thought maybe he changed it back just because I said something. I was going to say, don't worry about what I say, Mark. You know what I mean? You do your own thing, buddy.
Hey, Mark Sin, I've just Google translated that, mate, and I'm not too fucking happy with you, pal. Because it says congratulations, fat pig. that's what the freaking stuff's come back as. Mark Sin, what you doing, son?
It's congratulating you for something, isn't it? That's a nice.
I know, but even so,
it's a good thing to congratulate someone. And the fact is, maybe you a little bit fat, and you are the pig. What? I'd see no harm in it.
Oh my days. Raza comments, so Gomez and Chong going for nothing. Woodward, you plank. Man, what's going on with Angel Gomez? Honestly, let me know. Yeah, that's the first I've heard of it, unfortunately. We've got a super chat here from Gungers. Gungshi, by the way, I just want to say Gungshi, you're a lunatic, by the way, mate. Like, you're obviously a legend of the channel, but the other day on the Sunday, I don't know if you're aware of the amount of super chats you actually sent me, pal, but you're freaking off your head, pal. But thank you very much for the support on the channel and getting involved here, as always. But yeah, I think you even surpassed yourself at the weekend there, Gungshi. So, thank you very much. But, you don't need to do that, mate.
This is why Gungshi needs to be approaching the Glazers and buying
That's
the
right.
club. You know what I mean? If he's, if you're that way inclined, Gungshi, obviously you're putting your money, in places that you think is at the heart of United. Then there we go. I mean, we're waiting for someone.
Let's wait one moment, lads and lasses. Reconnection successful. Okay, I think we're okay. I think we just we dropped off for a wee second there, lads and lasses. Hopefully we're all back and you can hear us fine. But yeah, Markson says it doesn't say that. Ask Gungshi. Oh, Gungshi, what does it say, my friend? Okay, he says it's Happy New Year in Mandarin. I don't know why when I put in Google Translate, I put those lyrics, those characters in there, and it's come back, congratulations, fat pig. Is that just Google Translate trolling me there, then? Are you just telling me that means Happy New Year?
To be honest, I'm not sure, but that's an interesting one, isn't
If you just go to Google and put those characters in, I'm not making this up, just go to Google and put them in, not into any language, it's just Chinese detected here, and it will say congratulations, fat pig. So that's not very nice. But anyway, thank you, Mark. Happy New Year to you too. And obviously he's wishing you a Happy New Year, Henry, for Chinese New Year. Nice one, Gumsy. Thanks for letting us know that. Archie comments, Angel Gomez contract ends in the summer. He won't sign a new deal, his brother has said, Pig. So there you go. This is the thing. Like, if Angel Gomez leaves for free, a future talent of world football, to be fair, like, okay, maybe his progression up to this point is not as good as some of the other young players around United, but he's still got really loads of banks of potential to be a great player for the future. And if we can't let Angel Gomez go for free, man,
but you can't have an Angel playing for the Red Devils. It just doesn't work. Does it? No. Angels and Devils don't mix.
Well, yeah, Di Maria certainly proved that, didn't he? That little twat.
Oh yeah, good point.
Yeah, are we back though, lads and lasses? Alex said, did the stream die? Hopefully we're all okay. Can you hear us coming through here? Still on the same stream, I believe. So yeah, should be all right. Thanks very much for joining in. Not sure what happened there. Virgin Media need a slap up for sure. John Allen comments, Pig, you need to switch from dial-up. I know, I've got to make the change at some point. No, we have actually got fibre optic super fast broadband. That's what pisses me off about this shit. Virgin Media, absolute dicks. Right, okay. Archie says stream is fine. That's great. Griffo Chaz, he's got a comment here. Griffo Chaz, a fellow Dorsetshire lad. Thank you very much for getting here, Griffo. He says, by the way, check out his YouTube channel, which is called the Delayed Kickoff YouTube channel as well. Show some love to him because, it's obviously difficult starting up a new football channel. Like when I look back, and what I would say, Griffo, is do not be disheartened, my friend. It took me, I don't know, maybe like 100 videos before anybody started really watching. The first bunch of videos I'd done on YouTube back in the day, 6-7 years ago, there's crickets, man. There's 1 like, there's 3 dislikes, there's 2 comments, most of which saying you're an ugly prick or something. Do you know what I mean? Like, it takes a little while to build up an audience, is all I'm saying. So do not be discouraged. Griffo, he says, here's one for you. Who should be England #1 at the Euros? For me, it's Pickford. His club form is awful, but he always performs well on the international stage. So I'll just jump in and take that one, and then we'll hear what Henry has to say, Griffo. But yeah, I mean, I personally agree with you, actually. I think Pickford for England, Pickford for England has never really put a foot wrong when he's been called upon in the sticks for England. Like we saw that at the World Cup. I think he was very, very good, solid for us. Yeah, I'm with you. It's like I'm all about the big game players. I'm not necessarily, okay, form-wise, there may be better goalkeepers at the moment than Pickford, English-wise, in the league, but yeah, I would go for him. The experience, the international experience he's got is very important.
He was pretty embarrassing though against Newcastle the other day.
Oh well, I've missed that.
Did you miss it? Did you not see? Did you not watch Match of the Day? Did you not see the highlights?
I missed Match of the Day this week. Yeah, I haven't seen any of them.
Disgusting.
I know.
Well, so you don't know the result.
I know the results, but I don't know I didn't see his howler or anything. Do you know what I mean?
Okay, well, Everton were winning the game in the 93rd minute. There was 1 minute remaining of injury time. Okay, Newcastle score, and then they score again to make it 2-2. So it was a pretty amazing comeback. Really amazing. But for the second goal, Pickford was literally stood in his goal, but he was stood behind the line. So he actually saved the goal, essentially. It went right to his hands, but he stood behind the line. So the goal line technology's obviously got him there, stood in there like an absolute mug with the ball in his hand. He stood behind the line, and I'm thinking, well, maybe I need to watch it again. Maybe there's a reason. Maybe he'd been forced back into that position. That's why he was there. But I just can't get out of my mind right now the fact that as a keeper, there is no excuse to be stood in your goal. I mean, you could be the best goalkeeper in the world, but if you're stood behind your line, you might as well not be there.
Yeah, I don't really get that, to be fair. Like, how can a goalkeeper make that sort of an error? That's literally just down to just a complete lack of concentration and awareness, isn't it? Like, that's schoolboy shit. You'd expect to be, on your line or in front of your line.
He may have saved one, and he may have had to kind of just, dive back or something, and he was in the goal at the time. But I don't know. No, there's no excuse. There's no excuse, I don't think, to be in that position.
By the way, Gungshi, I can see you've sent some sort of a monster super chat here, pal. I think it may be too monster that has broken the bloody system or something, because I can't actually see your message. It's not showing up in the live chat here. Are you aware of this? Can everybody else see Gungshi super chat?
Has it got too many zeros on the end?
I think it might do, mate. I think it actually might do.
Bang, 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 bang.
But honestly, thank you, Gungshi.
Not even a comment anymore.
Thank you, Gungshi. Are you going to thank Gungshi, Hen? Thank Gungshi.
Well, do you know why Gunshi's doing it? Gunshi's doing it because he knows I'm getting a piece of the cake now. That's why. When it was just the pig, it's like, I'll give him a little bit. But now he knows that the hen is getting some of this. It's like, right, time to come in with the big amounts now. Do you know what I mean? Because I'm Gunshi's favourite, obviously.
That's it. But anyway, yeah, he said he did comment. Can you please write your comment again, please, Gungshi? Because honestly, I cannot see the comment that goes with it, man. I don't know what's been going on with the old super chats lately on YouTube, but I noticed the other day, I think you sent one that didn't even show up at all. So, I think YouTube's just having a bit of a mare today, my friend. But thank you very, very much for getting involved there. Just want to say once again to everybody who's still joining in, we're approaching an hour on the show. We will get on to the next segment soon. It's funny, isn't it, Hen? It's like I thought at the start of the show there's not that much to talk about, really, football-wise. We've just been blathering on, and I could keep going, mate. So we better get on to the next segment soon, because otherwise we'll just keep going, won't we? Buzzbeat Legend comments, what's going on, Pig? The heck's wrong with Keno, man? Did you hear his comment on Marshall? Do you know what? I'm a bit of a shit fan this week, okay? I haven't had my ear to the floor at all. I didn't hear his comments. I did see his interview after the game, saying that he thinks Ollie needs more time, needs another year or so. He's done a reasonable job considering, which all this stuff which I personally agree with. But I haven't heard this business on Anthony Martial, so you have to enlighten me on that one, please, my friend. Gungshi says, I said your channel is the best and deserves support. Thank you so much, Gungshi. Yeah, much appreciated. We have built up a tremendous little community. You legends here are what I would describe as the hardcore. Do you know what I mean? The hardcore that tune in to the Pig and the Hen show on the Wednesday. They're really the bread and butter of this channel, really. They're the backbone. Do you know what I mean? They're the personality.
It's very true, isn't it?
Yeah,
I do appreciate that. I mean, I don't think it's just because the hen's involved. I mean, there might be a couple of you that's like, I don't watch the Pig. I don't follow Flying Pig United. It's rubbish. I just tune in for the hen. And if you're one of those people, thank you so much. Love you guys. But I doubt there's too many of you. Most of you are probably massive Bacon Brigade people. But Pig's right. When it comes to listening to the Pig and the Hen show, watching the Pig and the Hen show, it's going to be the diehards out there because it's a time where we could all just get involved. So the Pig's got is am I still your friend? I'm your friend, aren't I? So Pig's got his friend, the hen, and we got the rest of you guys. And we all just get together, hopefully on a Wednesday night, and we do the Pig and the Hen show together.
Henry, let me just tell you my dream for this channel, right? And you guys, maybe some of you will be interested in this, right? But obviously not now because we just don't have a big enough following to really justify this, I don't think. But this is my dream, Henry, for the channel, right? We turn this into the same podcast, but live with an audience every single week, like 100 people in a room. Because there are podcasts like that which are recorded live in front of an audience and people, pay a nominal fee to buy a ticket and come in and blah, blah, blah. And do it like that and actually have an audience. Now, that is my personal dream. Now, I know you live in Guangzhou, China, And I know it's not that feasible, but let's say in the future, I don't know, 5 years, 10 years down the line, this channel's popping off and, you know, it's making some money from ad revenue and all that good stuff. I don't know. Then we could feasibly do that, my friend. And there are actually podcasts, smaller podcasts than ours, that film live and release the podcast with an audience and film it live in front of a studio audience, and they're smaller than us now. So
what you're saying is I'd have to smell your farts again, because I'd actually, do you know what I mean? You'd be spitting in my face now and then, which I didn't enjoy. And also, you'd have to get people in an audience. But the thing is, our audience is worldwide. So, you know, if you expect them all to convene in somewhere silly like Milton Keynes, it's not going to happen,
Milton Keynes of all the places. Well, you say that. I mean, okay, maybe some of our international supporters here, like the Rincon, the Ruddernator, and, you know, Gungshi and these guys, they would have to miss out, or they'd have to travel over for a particular show. But we have to remember, in my analytics on YouTube, I think about 50%.
But I don't think they'd be I don't think they'd be booking flights.
No, but I'm saying, look, if say they're having a match day experience, they're travelling over to watch United play, and guess what? Pig and the Hen's filming, wherever that week. Maybe they could make plans to come and attend. Is what I'm saying. But yeah.
Apparently, they've got Rashford coming for an interview. They get there. Oh, sorry, Rashford couldn't make it.
But no, that's honestly what I'd love to do. I'd love to do a weekly podcast in front of a studio audience. I think that'd be amazing. Now, you say that, Henry, it only needs to be about 20 people or whatever for it to actually be worthwhile to do.
I'd shit myself, though. I mean, I sit in the dark as it is. Do you expect me to get up on a stage? Oh,
no, don't get me wrong. It would be very daunting. I'm not saying, I've never done any public speaking or anything like that. But the only way you get good at stuff like that is by doing it. You know what I mean? And that's what I'd like to do. I'd like to get this channel to the point where we could fill a room. Doesn't have to be a big room. I'm talking 30 or 50 people or something. We could fill a room with people who want to come and listen to a bloody podcast being recorded live. And I think that could happen. I really, really do.
No, I'd be better than you. I'd be, do you know what I mean? I'd come out guns blazing.
Well, this is the thing. I think that'd be fantastic anyway. Nobody's really commented in the Daily Bit says you would need a lot of views. Yeah, it's true. Would need to improve. Over 50% of our following is in the UK, spread all over the UK. Mark Sin says you could fill a pub. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's possible, mate. We could just get some people we know as well to just turn up, fill out the numbers there.
Maybe, mate. I think you'd be better off if Daily Bits coming along and getting his bits out. You know what I mean?
Get his bits out daily.
More success there.
Oh dear. Alex Rincon says start doing post-match call-ins. LOL. I know. I mean, this is definitely something that is on the cards at some point. Very much on the cards. Okay, so we better crack on. Thank you for that, by the way, Alex. Top man, absolute legend. Yes, we will get him.
The trouble is, you don't want to take call-ins, do you? After you've just been battered. You get some mug calling you up,
that's the thing, I mean...
Literally laughing down the phone.
Potentially,
you couldn't take it, could you? You couldn't take it. You'd have a cardiac arrest. You could not handle it.
I know. No, could I just imagine if we'd done one after the Liverpool game, the amount of scousers they'd call in. All right, pig mate. How's it fucking going? I'm going to win the fucking league, mate. You never walk alone. I just
Happy year of the rat.
Year of the fucking rats, mate. No, I don't know. I'm sure it'd be fine. Rincon says we'll be fine. Let's just do it. Yeah, fair enough. Well, we've got to give it a go, don't we? Absolutely. JP says, Pig, you need to fight someone, then your channel will blow up. Fair enough. Anyway, right, okay, let's get on to the next segment then, Henry. Otherwise, this show's never going to end. I've just realised we've hit an hour and 3 minutes. For the hardcore out there, thanks for being with us for the Pig and the Hen Show. Smash a cheeky little like on this video. Let's see if we can smash the same amount of likes as viewers. There's 78 right now. Smash that on there. Smash a cheeky little like on it. Thank you very, very much. Okay, so let's get on to the next segment then, Henry. Here we go.
Pig and Hen's melter of the moment. The Pig and the Hen's melter of the moment. What a melter.
Over to you, Hen.
Is it me, is it?
Melter of the moment. Who is your melter of the moment this week, Sunshine?
Melter of the moment. Okay, my melter of the moment. I briefly spoke about it earlier in terms of one of the matches. But my melter of the moment is David Luiz. Okay?
David Luiz, eh? Yeah.
David Luiz. So he's at Arsenal now. Obviously, he spent, a good few seasons at Chelsea. We all know David Luiz, don't we? don't we? He's a big character. He's infamous for not having the greatest displays when they lost 7-0 to Germany. I'm talking Brazil in one of those World Cups. For Chelsea, he's a pretty extravagant player. He's able to score a free kick here and there. I'm not saying he's a bad player. He's good in many ways. But he's also an absolute calamity. And do you know what happened? Do you know? That's the thing. You haven't seen the highlights, have you, Pig? So you don't even know what happened, do you?
No, I mean, I know it finished 2-2 and Arsenal came back into it and they had 10 men, right?
That's it. So David Luiz gets himself sent off 20-something-if minute, okay? It's a terrible pass back from Mustafi. In fairness, Mustafi could pretty much be Melter at the moment as well. There's a bad back pass. Obviously, Tammy Abraham picks it up. He's goal side. Looks like he's going to get a shot away. What does David Luiz do? He tackle from behind, penalty, red card. Okay, and what makes it worse is obviously David Luiz has come from Chelsea. It was a big game for Arsenal. They've got their new manager. They've got Mikel Arteta there. They've gone to Stamford Bridge. David Luiz is probably before the game saying to the lads, this is what Chelsea's about. This is how we can take them down. Listen to me, come on, guys. He's absolute melt jobbed it. And do you know what? In the exact same fixture, I don't know if it was last season or the season before. It must have been the season before, or maybe the season before that. David Luiz got sent off in the exact same fixture playing for Chelsea. And he hasn't really had many other red cards other than that in the Premier League. So he's absolutely melted it. In fairness to Arsenal, they did very well. They actually finished the game 2-2, coming back twice from being a goal down. But it just makes you think if Luiz hadn't got himself sent off, Arsenal could have won that game. And he's absolutely melted it for his team. I mean, there's no need in that position. Just let Chelsea score. Let Chelsea score. Don't go a man down. That early in the game, you're actually better off conceding, I think, than giving away a penalty and getting sent off.
Well, I'll just let you have that one because I haven't seen the game or anything. Mark Sin comments, Arsenal fan comments, Mustafi is the melter of the month. So I'm not sure what Archie comments, Mustafi's the Phil Jones of the Arsenal. So.
Well, he's an absolute melter.
He's a melter as well, yeah.
There we go. Yeah, was it? I mean, Pick, you're awful because you haven't seen these games. Do you know what I mean? I come up with my melter and you.
I usually do.
Say, I just haven't seen them. You are the melter at the moment. Do you know what I mean?
I could never be the melter.
Brick wall might as well be the brick wall of the head show.
Well, also, I don't want to make this segment ridiculously long because this show is getting on for time already, mate. But Maximilian7, great to see you, Maxi. Comments spot on from Hen. So he agrees with what you were saying there anyway. Razak says, basically, Arsenal's whole defence is a joke. Noted. So, yeah. Fair play to you. I'll go with that. David Luiz, melter. Mustafi's melter of the month for Mark Sin also.
If I get Maximilian's, Medal of Honour right there, then, that's made my day. Thank you, Maximilian7. Brilliant stuff.
Awesome. My melter at the moment, I've got two this week. I've got one football one and one non-football one. So my first melter at the moment, I can't look. It's got to be Ed Woodward. Sack Ed Woodward. Just not signing the players. It's the 22nd of January now. Look at what he's done to this football club. Need I say more? He's melting all over the place, mate. In terms of what he's taken out, I think he was the highest paid chief exec in the Premier League last season, a few £1 million salary, whatever. Not really putting it back into the club, not really performing, not really doing his job well. In any other walk of life, he'd have been sacked off, he'd have been put on a disciplinary, he'd have been doing something, but not running this football club. This is a great football club, and we've got an absolutely banker potato head in charge. I just can't understand it. He's definitely my melter of the moment. He's my melter of the millennium. You guys are twat, mate. Are you okay over there, Hen? Bit of Bingtown went down the wrong way. Oh, crikey. Are you okay, mate?
I'm good, mate.
Crikey, what was that? Just inhaled a bit of Bingtown? He stopped drinking beers these days because he's got a few weeks without drinking. He's just started inhaling them now. All right, anyway, I'll take this moment to just talk about my melter of the moment then. The other one, I mean, of course, we've got Ed Woodward. But I don't know if you saw this, Henry. I did send you something yesterday about it. But there's outrage after a Chinese theme park forced a pig to bungee jump, right? Video footage shows a pig tied to a pole, carried by 2 men to a top of a tower before being pushed off and made to bungee jump, right? And this is it's a vulgar marketing tactic, basically, that's happened here, and it's the Mexin Red Wine Town theme park in the sprawling Chinese municipality of Chongqing in southwestern China. Are you familiar with a bit of Chongqing?
Chongqing.
Chongqing.
End of the day, it's just a nothing story. I mean, you got to remember there's no animal rights out here in China, so if something actually makes the news, I mean, it's just a bit of an eye opener into how things are.
How scared must that pig been, though, mate? Like, pigs, it says here, pigs experience pain and fear in the same ways that we do. And this disgusting PR stunt should be illegal, said this Peter, senior vice president or whatever. But, yeah, I mean, I just, as a pig, as a fellow pig, I find this very harrowing, mate. Very disheartening, my friend. So I would appreciate it if all Chinese people from now on could stop making pigs bungee jump. That would be good.
I mean, I think it's a bit obscene. I'm sure it probably would have got a bit of backlash with the young Chinese out here. I'm pretty sure there aren't people.
Our opinion's changing then, Hen. So
that.
we know, like, one of the worst videos I've ever seen in my life was from a Chinese fur farm a few years ago. Are the animal rights, are the laws and the practices surrounding animals, are they still like that in China, or has there been, with a younger generation coming through, has there been more of a, let's say, a compassion for animals from the younger generation, or is that also still the same? Is that something you're aware of?
To be honest, I don't think there's much love for animals out here. It's just a cultural thing, It's just I don't get involved with it. I love animals. I don't want to generalise. I don't want to say, this is just how things are out here. But certainly, when it comes to the rights for animals, you got to think the human rights are not up to standards of the West in China. So, end of the day, it's not even any point talking about animals, is there, really?
Well, I suppose there's more burning issues. Gungshi's just actually backed that up, and he super chatted and said, sometimes I despise China. Human rights are bad enough, and animal rights are non-existent. So, yeah, I mean, I think it's something that will change. I mean, you only have to go back a few hundred years, I think, in this country, in England, where the treatment of animals was, a lot worse than it is today. So maybe that is something that will improve in China, but maybe not. Like you say, it's a cultural thing, Henry. They don't value a dog's life or well-being the same way that we do, and we probably value other animals less so than they do, or I don't really know. But it's a cultural thing, isn't it?
I think it's very difficult to say, to be honest. I'm not an expert on the subject. I think, in fact, in the West, I think maybe we value animal life sometimes too much, where we even go to the extent where we put it ahead of human life to a certain extent. So, but that's another topic.
You're right, mate. You're right. Let's put it the other way. If this news article was about, I don't know, a man was forced to bungee jump for a prank, and he was literally tied up and they made a bungee jump, like, that probably wouldn't make as big a news as this pig being made to bungee jump. Do you know what I mean? So I think you might be right there, mate. Okay, that's the Melter of the moment then. Who's your Melter of the moment, lads and lasses? Get on in there. Do let us know. We're going to get on to the next segment now, which is the nut bag of note. Oh my goodness. Nut bag of note. 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 Over to you then, Henry. Who's your nut bag of note for the week?
Okay, my nut bag of note, and I've been trying to memorise this guy's name. And I think after a couple of beers, I suddenly, as you put the theme tune on, I was thinking, oh no, if I don't remember the name of the guy, what's everybody going to think? I think his name is Lejeune, and his first name begins with an F, and I think it's Flores or Florence or Flowers or some shit like that. But
talking about Fernando Llorente?
No, I'm not at all. No.
Right, okay.
His name. Someone please correct me in the comments section or the live chat there. But this is the Newcastle defender, right? And it's no wonder that I'm not particularly familiar with his name, because I don't think he's ever scored in the Premier League. I know he's a defender, so he's not expected to. But he's not a week in, week out starter. He's had his knee problems. Okay,
Right.
This is a player that Steve Bruce brought on in this Everton game where they're losing 2-0, and he's brought him on not to change the game. I don't think he's brought him on to actually try to stabilise Newcastle. Let's not turn this into a cricket score kind of substitution, right?
Right.
In the 93rd minute, literally the last minute of the game, he scores, and then he goes on to score in the 94th minute. Okay, and it's absolutely unbelievable. It's like that's 2 goals, his first ever goals in the Premier League. This guy's got knee problems. He's not a starter for Newcastle United. And he's come. He's against Ancelotti, right? A fantastic manager with a strong Everton team at the moment. They're doing well. This is away from home.
2-0 down.
How can he not be the nutbag of note? You've got to watch. You've got to watch the Newcastle comeback there. I know it's just a draw in the end. It's absolutely sensational.
Yeah, I mean, it says here, Carlo Ancelotti's side threw away what was an otherwise good performance by failing to clear a free kick with French defender Lejeune taking advantage of another scramble firing. So yeah, I've missed it, but yeah, he scored in the 94th and the 95th minute to secure Newcastle an away draw and a point. So yeah, fair play to you, Henry. That is a nutbag of note right there.
It's an absolute nutbag of note.
Yeah, that is a true nutbag of
knee
note.
Problems. You know what I mean? I hope he goes on to be a Ledley King or something.
True nutbag of note. In terms of the nutbag of note for me, Henry, I haven't actually thought of one. So that's a bit of an issue. But on the spot here, I mean, a couple spring to mind. I think
Pig
Erling...
is so unprepared. You are so unprepared.
Well, I'm very tired today, mate. Very tired
if I knew it was going to be like this, we just shouldn't have bothered, or we should just postponed it to Thursday. You know what I mean?
I think it's been a great show, actually, Hen. I think it's been a great show, mate.
I think you should super chat some people back with this kind of performance.
Hen back on the beers. It always makes it a great show. I knew it was going to be a good show today, mate. But anyway, no. To be fair, Hen, what was I saying? Who was my nutbag of note? Oh yeah, probably Erling Haaland, just because he made his debut.
Really?
Well, he made his debut for Dortmund the other day on the back of Manchester United missing out on him, and he comes on and he scored 3 goals in his debut game, and he's 19 or whatever. Man, I just feel like we've missed out on a really great talent there, to be fair. I know it's only one game. I don't even know who they were playing, whatever. I don't know the ins and outs of it. But he came on, he scored a hat-trick. And that is his debut. The last person I remember scoring a hat-trick on his debut was Wayne Rooney for United. He's done it for... a young lad like that. He's done it for Dortmund there. I think it's a nutbag of note performance from a young Erling Haaland to come on off the bench, make his debut, score a hat-trick, win the game for Dortmund. That's pretty nutty.
Oh yeah, I mean that's I think you're just bitter that he hasn't come to United. That's what it comes down to.
I am bitter. Eddie Otu comments, Haaland major nutbag, but the defending on the other side was poo. So yeah, that may well be the case. There's our nutbags of note.
Community, the people that are watching this show, it's almost like every time we comment on anything, there's at least 1 or 2 people out there that have watched that game in detail. They know exactly what's going on. Any news article that we kind of refer to, someone's there on it. So we can't really afford to speak too much shit, which we usually do. I don't know how we get away with it. You know what I mean? There's enough people out there scrutinising what we say now.
To be fair, in our defence then, or at least in my defence, usually I am pretty up on all that's going on in the Premier League. It just happens to be this week. I haven't watched the highlights of any of the games or anything. So usually, I am pretty up on the ball, mate, but just not this show. I hope you understand.
Yeah, well, I try my best. Super
chat here from Alex Rudd, who says, Pig lives matter. I love that one. It should actually be not Pig lives matter. What should it be? It should be like Pink lives
matter.
No? Swine lives matter, yeah.
That's I have no idea. Isn't it? Schweinsteiger matter.
Absolutely.
You see what I did there? That was good.
Yeah, well, Schweinsteiger literally means pig raiser. I think that literally means pig raiser in German. So
well, there we go. Schweinsteiger matter. I'm literally just 2 United, one ex-United player. What is going on with Bastian these days? Does he still play?
No, he's retired now. I'm pretty sure he retired.
Is
He was
he
over in
really?
the MLS, wasn't he? Playing for, was it Chicago Fire? I think maybe. But yeah, I think
How old is he? Not that old, is he?
he's got to be 38 or something, mate. He is getting on. Let's have a look at Bastian's age. Bastian Schweinsteiger age. 35. He's only 35 actually.
Is he playing?
He's a German retired professional footballer, so he's retired now.
But is that from the
He
international
spent
game,
17 seasons at Bayern Munich, playing exactly 500 matches across all competitions and scoring 68 goals for them. So he's a Bayern legend, of course. No, he's retired. He's retired. He's not playing anymore.
Absolutely retired.
So retired at 35.
What a shame.
Fair play to him.
What a good player he was.
What a great player. Such a shame that we didn't see the best of him at United. I think it was that Moyes twat who just didn't use him or utilise him at all. Or maybe it was Van Gaal, or both of them. But either way, yeah, I would have loved to have seen more from Bastian Schweinsteiger in a red shirt. Plus, he's just one of those guys. He just seems like a proper stand-up dude. Do you know what I mean? Just a stand-up guy. Oh, Henry. Right, okay,
I've caught this illness out there. You know there's some obscene illness out here right now.
I do,
Jokes
yeah. You're
aside,
probably patient zero, mate, aren't you? You're the originator. You've brought
I'm
over
not
your
wearing
English
my
lurgy,
mask.
and it's transmogrified. Basically, all the Bing towels you were having, the stoppage of the Bing towels at the start of January, caused your blood or something to transmogrify into some sort of messed up new disease, which is now infecting
Maybe.
part of Asia.
Maybe that might be the case. Well, just be careful, lads and lasses. Get your masks on. I don't have a mask on. I don't think it's got out past Asia, but we've had reports in Japan, Taiwan, Thailand. I think.
Jesus.
So
Maybe Gungshi's patient
it's
one then.
SARS, It's basically SARS Mark II. I don't think it's quite as contagious as SARS. The experts don't think it's going to be quite as bad as the 800 fatalities back in 2003. But it's still the worst outbreak since then, and that doesn't sound nice, does it? So hopefully most people can have a good Chinese New Year and not have to worry. And let's hope it doesn't turn into something nasty.
Yeah, we don't need another
Or more
pandemic
nasty,
or anything like
more
that.
nasty
But
than it is, yeah.
well said though, Henry. Yeah, anybody who is affected by that. No, it's not that many people right now, a handful of people, but I think a few people have died and stuff. So it is no laughing matter. Hopefully, it's something that does pass and doesn't take a foothold in society, like SARS or swine flu or bird flu or
the
whatever.
Americans are already screening it. Australia. They're already looking for signs of it at the airports now. So there is an international effort to stop this thing spreading.
Mehdi Naziri, speaking of Australia, he comments, "Love the show, guys. Watching from Australia, 2:30 a.m. Top man, Mehdi. Thank you very much for getting in here. And good day, mate. Hope you have a good day, mate, tomorrow. Do you know what I mean? Get a good night's sleep, Connor.
I wish I was there. I wish I was Australian because I could be sleeping there if it's 2:30 in the morning, and then I could be waking up, in your proper normal morning there, 9 o'clock or something, and I could watch the Tottenham game. Trouble is, where I am here in China, the Tottenham game's on 4 in the morning. Such a horrible time, isn't it? That's an awful time. It's almost too late to stay up and watch it, and it's too early to wake up and watch it. I mean, I know for you, Pig, like being absolutely nocturnal, that'd be absolutely no problem at all staying up to watch that one.
I'd like that, yeah.
I mean, that's probably your perfect sort of time for a kick-off, isn't it? About 4
Well,
in the
look,
morning.
if I'm being honest, like if I don't have work in the day, because I'm working part time at the moment, right? If I don't have work in the day, then see, at the moment I'm just the laziest bastard in the world. Like, I went to bed at 6:30 a.m. this morning. I just stayed up all night. Went to bed at 6:30. I was with my missus and that. She stayed up till about 3 or 4 a.m. To be fair. Oh yeah. No. Stayed up to about 3 or 4 a.m. But I went to bed at 6:30 a.m. Woke up at 12, proper mashed up, man, this morning. So
this is a good question. This is a good question. If you could choose, what time would be best for you for a football match? Let's say it's Manchester United. Is a very important game against Liverpool. It's for the title. We can live in fantasy land. What time of day would you want it on?
7:30 p.m, mate. So about 15 minutes
really?
earlier than usual. If I'm being honest, we're talking a good game here. I don't want to sit down and watch a fucking Man United Liverpool at 3 a.m. No, come on. Oh dear. Right. Okay. So we've pretty much got to the end of all the different segments and stuff on the show, mate. Am I missing anything? Oh, well, hang on. No, we haven't. We've got one more. What am I talking about? Crikey. Right, hang on. Here's your theme tune, Henry. No, there isn't. Let me do that again. Right, ready? Time for Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Okay, this has been going on for a few months now. I mean, we've had our first reports back in November. Okay, and we need to take ourselves all the way to the state of Colorado. And we're talking.
I've been to Colorado, lovely state. Lovely
fantastic.
State.
We're not talking the built-up areas. We're talking out in the plains, bordering Nebraska, etc. And there's still people out there, a few people, and there have been sightings, and there's been pictured, and it's true, and we're not talking a drone or two. We're talking armies of drones. We're talking armadas, fleets of drones in the sky, lighting up the sky. Okay, this has hit the media. You could do a quick Google search of it right now, and you just type in Colorado drones. Okay, and we're talking sightings of formation flying drones. It looks like what it could be. It could be army practices. Well, I know they've got some serious stuff going on out there in that part of the US. I'm not a US expert, okay, but it's pretty unnerving stuff. The fact that you've got these drones there, the FBI, the CIA, everybody's kind of saying don't know what this is about. It's very unlikely that it's just someone having a laugh, because who's going to own that many drones and be able to control
It's a military
that many drones
exercise, mate. That's all
time?
it is. It's military exercise. Like, you're absolutely right.
Yeah, but but everybody's denying it. Everybody's denying it.
Yeah,
And
because it's some
doesn't look
secret,
like
top
you
secret
rigged it.
shit at the moment where they're testing out some sort of drone flying squad to go and bomb whoever. And, they're testing it out, mate. Do you know what I mean? Simple as that.
So what you're saying is they're all denying it. They're all denying it. Okay, nobody's saying that, we're just testing. Why don't they just say, it's just military exercises on drone? Well, they don't want to say that because they're worried that foreign powers are going to be like, oh, okay, they're testing it out. Let's
testing
watch
out
them.
drone strikes or whatever, I mean, they've already done that loads of times before. But it says in some instances here, the drones were estimated to be at least 6 feet long and were flying in groups of 6 to 10. So it is quite strange. Like, what is the need to fly in a formation, even for a military exercise? I guess in terms of, surveillance to avoid detection, maybe it's easier if they're not all separated, if they're just almost like coming together as like some sort of a Megazord version of the stealth bomber. Do you know what I mean? But they're drones, and they all come together and fly in formation, and that somehow gives them, radar beating technology. I don't know, mate. But either way, it seems a little strange, I'll be honest with you, Hen, for them to be flying drones in formation.
It's very strange. I mean, I'm glad that you've got your little laptop out there.
I'm looking it up.
To type in and check up what I'm talking about these days, because, in the past you weren't so hot on that, but now it's like anything I come out with, it's like it's only a fingertip away for you, isn't it, pig?
Yeah, but what you have to remember as well, Henry, it says here, after investigating 23 reports between January 6th and January 13th in 4 instances, law enforcement confirmed they saw something but couldn't tell exactly what was flying overhead. So, the law enforcement has said that they've seen some weird shit as well. Like, the police have actually said there's a picture of a policeman looking up at the night sky.
Yeah, but who are
Colorado
they? They're just they don't know anything. No. Law enforcement is just the regular people, isn't it? That they're not going to be informed on the actual goings on, are they?
No, but what the point I was going to make is, it probably is. It has happened because the law enforcement has seen some dodgy shit. People are reporting it.
Well, it has happened. Of course, it's happened. I don't. So nothing that I say on the encounters of the third kind is bullshit. It's all true.
Well,
this is true.
I don't know about that, mate. But not all true.
Well?
And even this is just speculation. Like, this is just
it's not speculation.
Well, 23 reports. And what you have to remember, Henry, let me just tell you this as well. Like, okay, let me just tell you this. Colorado, I've been to Colorado, okay? Colorado is one of the states in America that has completely legalized weed, right? Of course, for the better. But the point I'm making is, they've probably got some pretty good shit out there. There's these people, they're smoking up in Colorado here. It's nighttime. They're in the Hickville countryside. Maybe they've had edibles. Maybe they're just seeing some stuff, my friend.
I think you're making a joke out of it. You're making a joke out of it now, Pig, and it's not funny. It's not funny. There is drones up there. We're talking drones that very recently, and I even mentioned this on a previous encounter of the third kind, where they've obviously taken out an Iranian foreign official who I'd label as a terrorist with a drone. So drones are the next big thing. This is what's going on. So they're testing drones out. They're all denying it, okay? And these drones, what they're slowly going to arm these drones with all the best weaponry, the best surveillance technology. Who knows? Who knows what these drones are going to be doing next? I mean, what worries me is it's going to bypass military standards. And in fact, the actual FBI, CIA are going to start to have their own force of drones. So, the police, won't even be knocking on your door anymore. You'll have a fucking drone hovering outside your window whilst you're fucking your best pal's missus or something, saying,
excuse me?
We've had reports of something or other, right?
Yeah.
For example. And it's like all you're doing is doing the dirty on your best mate. You know what I'm getting
at. What the fuck? Yeah. Daily Bits here, he comments as Pig watches too much Power Rangers. By the way, I grew up on Power Rangers. I used to love Power Rangers. For me, it was like the early part of my life was all Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And then after that, it was like Power Rangers up until about 8 years old or something. It's freaking legendary. Eddie Otto comments, go Power Drones. I used to love it though. Angel Grove. Angel Grove. Do you know what I mean? Bulk and Skull. I remember it all. But that's what I grew up on as a kid, yeah. Nice one. Okay, yeah, Henry. So, yeah, interesting, mate. Very interesting. I think you've got some grounds for definitely a conspiracy here that maybe the US government is trialing some sort of a drone formation system out, or testing out some sort of new technology.
Stuff they don't want people to know when it comes to drones. Yeah. Simple as that.
Yeah, I mean, if you think the American government doesn't test things all throughout the year, which we don't know about, and they want to keep under wraps, then you're a fool, really, because they obviously do. That's how these military weapons come to fruition.
It's not even really much of a conspiracy.
No, it's not really a conspiracy. I agree.
But it is. But this is not the conspiracy section. This is a close encounter. This is what I encounter that I think we need to be talking about. That's as simple as that.
Respect, mate. Respect. Cool. Okay, so we've come to the end of that section now, Henry. Have you got enough time for call-ins, or what? We just come to.
I have.
We've come to 1 hour 31 minutes.
Look on your face was so you could not even bear to imagine yourself speaking to Maximilian 7.
No, I love speaking to our subscribers, mate.
Imagine.
I love speaking to our subscribers. Okay, I'm just going to put it on. So if anybody wants to call in to pigandthehenshow@hotmail.com, pigandthehenshow@hotmail.com, on Skype, please do. Please do.
Max, you're not allowed to call in. Pig doesn't like you. He told me.
Max, I personally love you, mate. I personally love you. It's the hen that thinks you're scum. No, I'm joking. But anybody who does want to tune in, there you go. If we don't get any calls, we'll pretty much wrap the show up. But the period for call-ins is now. If you guys want to phone in, you can call pigandthehenshow at hotmail.com to phone in. Here we go. And guess who's calling in, Henry?
It's your best friend, isn't it, Pig?
Hang on a second. Here we go. Just merge the calls here. Maximilian 7, can you hear us?
Here we go.
Maximilian, how you doing?
How's it going, man? How's it going, Hen?
Hello, Maximilian.
Yeah, very well,
how
thanks,
you doing?
Max.
All right.
How have you been? Happy New Year to you.
Hello?
Hello, how have you been, Max? All good? What's going on with you, my friend?
I was just checking, is my voice clear?
As clear as it will ever be, I think, yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, guys, Happy New Year. I hope you guys had a good New Year. And yeah, great calling you guys again, as usual. Like I really enjoyed today's show. It was a good mixture of different topics as usual.
Top man,
And-
thank you so much for getting involved, Max. Always a pleasure to hear from you too. Is there any sort of I don't know, burning issues or topics that you've got on your mind you'd like to discuss, or anything we talked about?
Yeah, just like a quick sort of kind of transfer rumor mill or like. Yeah, I'm probably as frustrated as you that United haven't signed Bruno Fernandes.
Oh, I know.
Like it's going on for like since last. Like we were heavily linked with him in the summer, like, and I think even like right after basically Mourinho was dismissed, we were linked with him in the January of that window.
Yeah,
so it's been forever, and I mean, and I don't know how Ed Woodward is like on his job. Like people call him that. People say that he's a great businessman. I mean, I personally haven't seen any of his transfer dealings being a sign of good business. Like always overpay, and for more often than not, let's face it, our big money signings have flopped. Like I'm talking about Di Maria, I'm talking about Falcao. Let's face it, he was on like 300k a week.
That was a proper panic buy last minute. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're right. Sanchez, Pogba hasn't really worked out too well. Yeah, paid huge amounts. I agree with you on that one, Max, definitely. And another thing about United and their transfer policy, it's like you said about Bruno Fernandes. We were talking about signing him a year ago, or even longer than a year ago. Harry Maguire, we signed him for 80 million. We were talking. We should have signed him 6 months or a year before that as well. It's like it seems like Ed Woodward and our owners are incapable of actually bringing in players without this long drawn out year-long process. That's what it seems like to me. It's like if you want to sign a player, you better start speculating and negotiating with the club about 12 months before then, because they're incapable of just getting a deal done in a quick amount of time. Mad.
Exactly, and that's where the director of football comes in, because the director of football, when you're negotiating, he has that respect from the club you're negotiating with, because the club that you're dealing with knows that they can't fuck with this guy, so they're gonna be like, okay, this guy is probably aware of the real value of so and so player, so we can't really like charge him excess of money and stuff like that. And that's because when Woodward is calling let's say a sporting club, what is it called, the club that Fernandes plays for,
Sporting Lisbon. Sporting Lisbon.
Sporting Lisbon, there you go. So when he's calling Sporting Lisbon's representatives, he's like, okay, how much do you want for Fernandes? They're like, okay, we'll take 120 million, and this guy doesn't even know what's the real value of Fernandes. He hasn't done any sort of research of how many goals or assists he has scored and what's his real valuation, stuff like that. So they can easily, like make him pay over the odds, because even they know that this guy is an idiot and he doesn't have any football knowledge. And you can't, and that doesn't apply for a director of football. Like how many times?
So what you're saying, Max? So let's just backtrack a second, because I understand what you're saying. Director of football. Okay, it's someone that's respected. He's able to negotiate. What you're saying is Ed Woodward is a laughing stock across Europe. Any.
Well, he definitely is. Yeah, he definitely is.
That's basically what I'm saying. But the people at Sporting Lisbon are looking at Woodward thinking, this guy's an absolute joke. You know what I mean? We don't have to deal with him. We don't respect this guy. And you're saying this is having an extremely detrimental effect on your transfer dealings. Is that what you're saying, Max?
Precisely, because you look at this the kid that Liverpool signed from Salzburg, Minamino. Like he had 6 million in his release clause, and their director of football, he knew his actual valuation in his contract. And Ed Woodward bid like 25 million for this guy when his release clause was 6 million. Like, can you believe that? That's how ridiculous it is.
If that's true, I mean, that's just pure incompetence. Yeah, I mean, another thing, like we saw it recently with Erling Haaland. Okay, maybe there's some things like future sell-on clause, which is the reason United didn't want to go through the deal. but Dortmund were prepared to do it. Dortmund have got themselves a good player for a few years now who's going to get better and is young and full of bags of potential. Whereas United, that whole transfer sort of seemed to fall down on the fact that they wanted, that Erling Haaland's agent and Erling Haaland wanted some sort of a release clause in the contract for a big amount of money if another club comes in for him down the road. And United were not prepared to reach an agreement on those terms, which, United shouldn't be a selling club like that. But to get your man, to get a player that's going to help out the squad right now, which is a very desperate squad that needs improvement, to pass up an opportunity to bring a player like that in, to have him around the club for a couple of seasons at least, and then still be able to sell him for a big profit or keep him, I think that is a big mistake by Woodward and the board there to not to not meet the agreements that Dortmund were able to meet with Haaland. So that really annoys me. I think it's just incompetence all round from Ed Woodward.
See. That's one theory that I've heard, but there's another theory which is like, how do you know that Haaland didn't reject United? Like, you see what I mean? Like he probably looked at the project of Dortmund and United, and he was like, okay, yeah, there's a good chance that I'm not gonna do well in this in United. They're it's run by a bunch of incompetent people. So that's what he probably thought. And here's the funny part. So Salzburg has a tie up with RB Leipzig, because they're both part of the Red Bull corporation thing. Yeah. So 9 times out of 10, the players from Leipzig, from Salzburg, they go to Leipzig because it's like their feeder club.
Right.
So Leipzig were so I think it was like 80% pretty much done and dusted that he would go to Leipzig, but then United came in, and Dortmund came in as well, and he eventually chose Dortmund, which is really funny because tend to go to Leipzig, but he probably saw, okay, this club has a brilliant manager, and they have a great chunk of
who's managing Dortmund at the moment, Maximilian?
It's I forgot.
Sorry to put you on the spot there, because I don't know.
Yeah.
But I think you're right though, Max. Like I think the rejection from Haaland is probably something to do with it. Even though there's that whole Solskjær connection and the Norwegian connection and all that, it's like really Champions League football. Probably more emphasis to play and more opportunities to play as well. That is also a factor. Yeah.
I mean, for me, if I was a player, I'd be put off going to United. I think because of Ole Gunnar Solskjær, because he's not a proven manager, and I think that surely that has a big influence. End of the day,
okay, but their manager is Lucien Favre. Have you ever heard of him?
Lucien, I don't know. He might be
Lucien Favre.
Bigger manager out there. He might be a bigger manager out there. All I'm saying is, if I'm as a player, if I'm going to sign a 3-4 year contract, I want to go somewhere where I feel like I can work with that manager. That manager's going to help me in my career. Solskjær is certainly not proven as the kind of manager that's going to develop anyone's career. Far from it. If anything, you got a single stretch factory, he turns it into a double one. So.
Well, he doesn't have the experience. That's it. Yeah, he's not going to have the draw for a potential signing that like a Jose Mourinho or even a Pochettino. These big name managers that are going to be able to attract players. Yeah. We've got a call coming in from Alex Rudd, by the way. Anything just to quickly add at the end here?
Yeah, just like maybe give me a few seconds. I'll just wrap it up.
Cool.
Like the scary part is that Ole managed this guy in Molde, Haaland, and
oh wow, that says it all.
He managed him for a good 2.5 years or something like that, and he rejected us for Dortmund, and there were just 3 clubs in for him: Leipzig, Dortmund, and us. Are you telling me, with all due respect to the Dortmund fans, are you telling me Dortmund is a bigger club than United?
Absolutely not.
Yeah. He rejected us for Dortmund, not for Barcelona.
What you're saying is he was actually managed by Ole Gunnar Solskjær for 2.5 years.
Yeah, Molde and the Norwegian League. Yeah,
exactly.
That is crazy.
I know. That's why I said it was more realistic at the time that it can happen.
Spoken about more.
That's what's scaring me. That can we not attract
Great
any
point.
players under Solskjaer?
But there
that's
are
Thank
other
you,
factors
thank
you
you
have
so
to remember
much.
though. There are other factors like, for instance, oh, are you still there, Max?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, sorry, yeah, yeah. So yeah, there are other factors like, for instance, Alfinger Haaland being his dad. Obviously, did used to have a big rivalry with, like, you know, United and Roy Keane having played for Leeds United and Man City. Maybe he doesn't want his son playing for Man United, or maybe Dortmund just offered them more money as well. You have to factor that in. Some people are motivated by money, and they don't really care who they play for if they get the right amount of money. Look at all these players that go and play in the Chinese league. They're not there to better and further their careers. They're just there to collect 400k a week or whatever it is. So that is a factor also. Okay then, Max. Well, we're going to have to leave it there with you, my friend, because Alex Rudd is calling in again. Thank you, Alex Rudd, for keeping calling.
Yeah, thanks a lot, guys.
Great call. Great to hear from you. Guten Tag and all that good stuff. And I hope everything's good over there in München for you there, Max.
Well, no, thank you, Max, for bringing up the fact that that player that you were heavily linked with played under Ollie for 2.5 years. I mean, you know, that's really brought something to my attention, and that almost makes me, you know, question Solskjaer's pulling power more than it ever has.
Great point, that, Max. That is a great point that, you know, Solskjær managed him previously, and he still doesn't want to play for him. So great point, my friend.
Yeah, man. Thanks a lot for having me.
Nice one. Have a great day, Max.
We'll
hopefully hear from you soon. Take care, buddy. Nice one.
Thank you, Max.
See you, mate.
See you guys.
Great call there from Maximilian7. Thank you very, very much for your call there, all the way from Germany. Top man getting in there. Great point about Haaland as well. Like, obviously, Erling Haaland did have the option to go to United and play for Solskjær again, but he didn't. He chose Dortmund. So, yeah, a bit dodgy. Here we go. Alex Rudd, thank you for calling back in, my friend. Let's connect with you. Let's get you in here. Hopefully your audio is to a reasonable standard today, Alex Rudd. Alex Rudd, how are you doing?
Hey, what's going on?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. How's everything in New York City over there, buddy?
Not bad. Just wanted to call in before I have to go back in.
Awesome. And yeah, it does sound a little bit shady there, Alex, where you are. So hopefully Henry can you hear Alex, Henry?
I can hear you. Let's hear you. If
Great
you've got
stuff.
a main point, I'm sure you have, Alex. I'm sure you got something that's very important to say right now. Let's hear it.
It's not that important, but I just wanted to address maybe why United haven't been able to sign anybody, and it could be possibly that they're waiting to see if they can find a replacement for Haaland. What do you guys think of that?
Did you hear that, Hen?
There's something about United transfers struggling to get players in. You know, other than that, I wasn't really listening because I wish someone would talk about something else. Who cares about United? Alex Rudd, you are an Arsenal fan. Talk about Arsenal. Who cares about Manchester United? I'm sick of it. I'm sick. This is one thing that I hate about the pig and the hen show. It's Manchester United, Manchester United, Manchester United. You know, I'm close to, you know, doing something silly. Really, I hate Manchester United.
Crikey, what have you got to say to that one, Rod?
He's muted himself.
Oh, you've muted yourself, Rod.
Because he's secretly he's a United fan. This is what it is. Here he is.
Oh,
Here he is.
No, absolutely not. No, I was just thinking, like, you guys were talking about the transfers, and
I would love to answer your question, Alex, but I didn't actually hear it. Could you mind repeating it just one more time?
Yeah, I think that I think United is possibly waiting for a Solskjær replacement. That's my theory.
Right.
Anyway,
Is it going to
makes
be
a lot of sense because they're
Pochettino?
not backing him, are they? They're not really giving him the investment. We saw a similar sort of thing happen with Jose at the end of his spell. Obviously, they gave Jose hundreds of millions before that. But the third season, when we were 30 points behind City or whatever it was, finishing the league, you would think that they would, they would invest and try and close that gap, but they didn't. And then we saw Jose make his way out of the club pretty soon after that. So you might be onto something there, Alex. I mean, maybe they just don't want to back a manager who might not be here very much longer past the end of the season.
Yeah, possibly. And the other thing about David Luiz, I don't think it's his fault. He was kind of put in a weird position. Can you guys hear me?
Yep, we can
He
hear
was
you.
put in a weird position defensively. I blame Mustafi for that because he totally... I mean, this guy needs to leave our team. he's basically a liability pretty much every game.
Sure. So
Like,
Mustafi
whenever
has to go, but surely David Luiz didn't have to go in on Tammy Abraham. He could have just not gone in on him and not got sent off. Surely, Alex.
Absolutely, I agree with you. I think he has it in him too. That's why we need to sign defenders. We're looking at signing midfielders, and I'm hearing all these rumors, and I'm like, why aren't we signing any decent defenders? That's what we need.
Well, David Luiz is pretty much your best defender, isn't he? It's actually true. Like, he's pretty much your best defender.
Well, we have Niles and a few other guys, Saka.
But Maitland-Niles actually, yeah, he's a good one for the future, definitely. Yeah, but
he's alright. I wouldn't say he's a class or anything, but he's serviceable.
Okay, just quickly, Alex, I want to hear your thoughts on Mikel Arteta. I know you were talking about Pochettino for Arsenal when we sat Poch, and what's your thoughts on Arteta, and what's your thoughts on Pochettino going to Manchester United, having started the call, obviously slating Ole Gunnar Solskjær, which I don't blame you on. Go on.
I wasn't really slating Ole. I was just saying it's a possibility that might happen.
I think you're right, Alex. I think there is a possibility. I can't see why they wouldn't have invested more heavily in the summer and now also.
I think you guys should stick with him personally. Sorry, I'm just letting somebody through. I think, but Arteta, I like him actually. I think he's brought to the team. You're not seeing that in the results so far, but I think that's down to the players that he hasn't been able to sign. He hasn't been able to put a stamp on the team. But
of course, he's been there 2 seconds. I know, yeah.
Like, I like what I'm seeing though. Like, the past 2 months. Well, I mean, obviously Wenger in his early days was a legend, but at the end of his career, he was just. Well,
I was quite impressed. I was impressed with this latest game against Chelsea, where you've got a man down. Mustafi, David Luiz, absolutely having mares all over the park. And Arteta's got to think. What am I going to do here? He made the substitutions. He brings Guendouzi on, who looked decent for me. Who's kind of like, David Luiz's little brother or something with that haircut. But, I think like Arteta's... There we go. I mean, I think he has changed something. And I think he has learned something from Pep Guardiola. So, we got, obviously, it's early days. We got to see how he gets on. But... I'd like to see him do well. It's brilliant to see these old, fantastic players.
You would think he would get Arsenal playing that sort of tiki-taka style as well, having worked under Pep, and obviously, he was a player under Arsene Wenger as well. So he should get that whole philosophy and mentality of Arsenal to play like great pass and moves type of football, shouldn't he? He's not had a long time, but I'm expecting him to do okay there, actually. I wasn't feeling too optimistic about his prospects when he first signed as manager, but if you look what he's done, like you say, Henry, just the way that the team battled back against Chelsea there and stuff, you've got to fill Arsenal fans with a bit of hope, doesn't it?
It's going to be a slow process. I'm not expecting anything this season. Obviously, I actually would prefer if we don't even get Europa. I think we need to have him properly managing the team one day a week, where he can really put his egos and stuff into the team and get him playing his style and get everybody on board. Because if we're gonna have a Europa League next season, it just means he has to just take time away from practices during the week and stuff. So
yeah, it's an unwanted distraction at this stage. Same thing for United when you're trying to transition and rebuild in a rebuilding period. You don't want all these different fronts to be fighting on, especially Europa League, where you can travel to Russia or wherever, really far-flung fixtures around the continent, and then it really does, especially if you've got a squad that you need to keep fit. It is, it's a stretch. So I hear you there. I think it'd be better for all of our clubs, really, to not be in the Europa compared to being in it. It only increases your chances of doing better domestically in the league. So yeah, I fully agree with that, Alex. I think it'd be good for Arsenal if they missed out on that.
I agree, and but the thing about Pochettino, and I don't know. I think I guess he'll be good for you guys. I mean, I think I always rated him as a manager, even though he's a Spurs manager.
Do you think that's going to happen, Alex? Do you think there's a strong chance that's going to happen? Do you see that happening?
I could see that happening. I don't know if he wants to go. I don't know, because I think going to, I'll tell you why. Because I think at this moment in time, going to Man United is like a lateral movement. It's not like a forward movement for him. I think he's reached as much as he can. Like, he's done as much as he can with the Spurs. The team was kind of always underachieved in the past. And I think going to a team that's in rebuilding mode right now is not a career move that he's going to want to make at this point in time. I could see him going somewhere like maybe Ajax or something like that, where he could he'll have the young players and he could develop them and have Champions League football.
I mean, I think he'd do. I have to disagree. Actually, I think he'd do. I mean, sorry, the line's not the greatest, so I think you were saying that you don't think Poch would possibly be the right fit at Manchester United, or you can't really see that. But for me, to be honest, I think it would be the exact right manager right now. And I haven't really spoken to Pig about this in depth yet, but you're seeing these young players come through like Brandon Williams, and obviously you got James there, and you got a fantastic young side. I think Pochettino could work wonders at Manchester United. I think he'd be doing a lot better than Ole Gunnar Solskjær is right now. I think he'd be looking at top four with Manchester United under Pochettino, having experienced Poch for the last 5 years.
How can you say that, though, mate? How can you say that? Poch had just ended in tears at Spurs, man. Like, okay, he did do a good job developing that squad. Also, the players, maybe they did a good job developing themselves. Harry Kane, maybe he's just a really motivated, talented young player who's progressed really well as a professional footballer over the last few years. To credit Pochettino for Spurs' players' development over that time, yeah, it's a factor. But also, you just got players like Harry Kane who are very talented. Dele Alli certainly had a struggle under Pochettino this last year or so. Mourinho's come and revitalised him. So why wasn't Iman managing Dele well? Why did it take a change?
I think Dele Alli. I think he wanted Poch gone for some reason. I don't know what happened, but he played like out of his mind the 2 seasons before that, and all of a sudden, he forgot how to play football. And I can't see that. You know what I mean? I think he was down the tools. And I think, I don't know what happened. I mean, I wasn't there. None of us were there. So.
He's obviously a good coach, isn't he, Alex? Like, Pochettino's obviously done well with Spurs.
He was past his sell-by date at Tottenham Hotspur, okay? He developed this great side. He's brought these new signings in. He started to build grudges, and that was the downfall of Pochettino. He started to have this issue where it's like, no, I'm not happy with you, and you're not you're just not getting a chance at all. At least under Mourinho, the team is continuously changing. Everybody feels like they still got a chance to be in that side. And that was the downfall of Poch. He was just past his sell-by date. It doesn't make him a bad manager overnight just because he's had one bad season. I think at Manchester United, you're so limited with what you've got there right now. I think Poch would really get the best out of your players, and he'd know the best team to play.
Maybe. But I mean, to be fair though, like the thing is with Poch, he probably should have never got sacked from Spurs, really. Like, he didn't deserve to get sacked, in my opinion. He'd done amazing things with Spurs and developed the squad. So in one regard, I rate Poch. I think he's a very good coach. But why would they get rid of Poch and get Mourinho in?
We had the opportunity to get Jose in.
But why though? That's it. That's a manager that United have had for a few years. Because a team like Tottenham Hotspur, we'd never get the chance to get a manager like Jose ever again. Man, Spurs are such a small club, aren't they? They really are a small club.
Exactly.
When you have Pochettino, who's done amazing things, got them to the Champions League final, and then they sack him off after a couple of months of dodgy performances just because a big name is available to take the helm, when in reality that big name is a football dinosaur from a bygone age who's been at United and had a nightmare.
He's not a dinosaur. He won you trophies. You're so disrespectful. You know what I mean? You're just such a, if it's not Fergie, it's nothing for you. You've eaten Black Forest Gatto at its best, and then ever since then it's been cheap Christmas cake or something. It's never been up to standard, has it?
No, it's an interesting topic. You've got us triggered on this one, Alex, for sure.
Well, the thing about Jose and the Spurs is that he hasn't been getting results, and he hasn't kept. I think hasn't got one clean sheet since the
He has. He's had two clean sheets. Yeah, 2 clean sheets. We just drew.
Yeah, but we're not talking about the ones on his bed
day.
here, Henry.
Okay. You got to give him time, Alex. You got to give him time. He's been there 2 months. He hasn't been able to bring any players in apart from Jetson Fernandes. I've pronounced it right this time.
Yeah, but
you got to give him time.
You guys had a good squad. You guys had some decent defensive players, so he should be able to work with the players he has.
Harry Kane's injured.
I actually think Harry Kane's a liability for you guys, to be honest. This might be not an unpopular opinion, but I think
liability. I think you're a fucking liability, Alex. I do.
Well, Arsenal are a liability at the moment in 10th place. Saying that, they're only actually, how many points are you behind Spurs now? 1 point.
No, we're bad. I'm just going to put that out there. Yes, we're horrible right now. It's the worst season we've had since,
Yeah, it's a total rebuilding season, to be fair. And you're only 1 point behind Spurs, so it's not like it's difficult.
The reason why I'm saying, I'm not trying to diss Harry Kane or the Spurs. I mean, obviously I'm an Arsenal fan, but I think they play better as a team when he's out.
Yeah.
I've noticed, watching Spurs games, I think having Son up front totally makes them a more dynamic team than just constantly going to Harry Kane. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean, actually. I mean, I do think Son's their most important player, actually, yeah.
It was better. You've got a point, Alex. When Kane was out before, when Poch was in charge, we didn't actually do too badly at all. I think under the way Mourinho plays, we need Kane. We need a number 9. Mourinho likes to have a number 9. You've seen that with every team he's ever had when he's been successful. And I know that he's inherited silly good clubs, but every single one of them has always had a big number 9 that's been playing phenomenally well, and they've also had a solid rock, in the midfield defensive kind of position there. And that is what we're lacking right now. And that's where Mourinho is going to struggle, because he's not used to not having those 2 key elements to his team.
Respect. We're going to have to leave this one here, though, Alex, because Mark Sin's calling in and we're fast running out of time. But I just want to say thank you for your call, Alex. Great call, my friend. Great to hear from you. Obviously, one of the legends of the channel. We've been supporting this channel for a long time. So just from the pig from the pig, the hen can say it himself, but much appreciated for all your support and everything.
Fucking liability, aren't you, Alex? I'm joking.
See you guys later.
Nice one. See you, Alex. Great call, mate. We'll speak soon.
Later.
Thanks, buddy. Take care.
Love
Have a good
you,
day.
Mate. Thank you.
Bye, mate. Right, hold on a second.
Was I being a little bit horrible to Alex there? I hope he's still our friend.
Not at all, mate. Not at all. Mark Sin is just calling in. How you doing, Mark?
1 second, pig.
Great
Give me a
stuff.
sec.
Great to hear from you too.
Loudspeaker.
The calls have been going very smooth today. It's almost like it's a professional show or something, isn't it? It's like one call ends and then another one begins.
Hello, guys. Can you hear me? Because there's a bit of a delay.
Yeah, very well,
I
Mark.
can hear you, Mark.
Nice. Well, first of all, gong hey fat choy pig, and I'm really pissed off that you thought I was taking this.
Well, when I put it in Google, it literally said, I don't know if you tried to do it as well, but whatever I was using, Google, it just literally said, congratulations, fat pig. So I thought there's no other way that could be meant as anything else other than, what it sounded like.
I think what you did, because when you choose traditional or simplified, it goes a little bit wrong.
Right,
There's different types of Chinese.
Because it just detected it, rather than me selecting
Very true.
or whatnot. Yeah, very true.
What you need is simplified.
Yeah. So I did write it in Cantonese, which one of your subscribers says it's slightly different.
Oh, even more confusing, yeah.
I only speak Cantonese myself, so.
Although
it's because you're a cunt.
Oh well done, Hen.
You are a fat pig, aren't you?
Well, yeah. I mean, it wasn't wrong what you said.
It's just the most honourable thing to say to someone for the new year, and then it's like You thought I was taking a piss. I was like, I'm so gutted. I spent that one.
But what you got to remember, Mark, is Pig is ultra sensitive. You can barely say anything. You can barely say hello to him without him sort of, having a tear in his eye or something. You got to be careful.
But no, to be fair, no, I got that in the end. We got there in the end, though, Mark. Thank you very much for your nice message there. It's almost like, if I was to send somebody like a message who's in, I don't know, France or something, saying Merry Christmas, like, Happy Noel or whatever, and it turns out I'm calling their Uncle Noel a fucking prick or something. It's kind of like that. But how have you been anyway, Mark? All good over in the West Country there, my friend?
Oh no, not too bad. I've been away and been ill over Christmas. I mean, I've been missing you guys. Well, Sir Henry anyway. I've been still watching the show with you, Pig, but no, things haven't been good just around Christmas. But I've been waiting to connect with you, both of you actually. And I've got a little surprise at the end for you guys, if you're up for it.
As long as it doesn't involve you flashing anything on camera, then
no.
This is why I'm so glad we're not doing those live shows that you're talking about, Pig, where we actually have an audience stuff. Because Mark Sink could come up to the stage and then,
there you go.
He could pull out a piece or something, couldn't he? Who knows? Who knows what those Mark's about?
Partly why I changed my name. My work's killing me at the moment. Anyway, well, just quick few things. As much as I love Mr. Rudd, that was such a dreary topic. You guys are talking. Oh my god, it's just we've been through it so many times.
Go on.
Pochettino, I know.
Please, let's have a little bit of anything you want to say goes. As far as I'm concerned.
Tell you what, I mean, big shout out. I tell you what, I remember when I first started watching the channel, and I think you came for you were just in. I think Pig was doing the watch along for Full Time Devils, and then Henry, you came in, didn't you? And we were talking a bit, and you gave me a massive shout out. And so I felt part of the community, and I just want to give a big shout out to all the regs now, a lot more the Saint and JP and the usual good Gunshi as well, and both Alexes and. Yeah,
I think I remember that. Yeah, I do remember that. You mean when I wasn't live with the Pig, but I was just like,
you were in the chat, weren't you? Taking the piss.
You mean?
I remember we were trolling him in the chat.
Yeah,
that's right.
That's it.
Got you.
But no, you're right, mate. Like all these people in here, the Saint, JP, VK Dean, Razak, you guys, you of course, Mark, Maximilian. Yeah, it's like it's all the usual. We've just built up like a little group of the usual legends that all tune in, and everybody's pretty well friendly together, aren't they? So it is pretty cool, yeah.
Matt Rush as well.
Matt Rush, absolute legend, yeah. Matt Rush. Ryan Burberspin.
Yeah.
There's too many for me to remember. That's the problem. Like I do, just to cycle through it in my head. It like I struggle to remember people's names and stuff. I'm that guy.
Well, it sort of takes me on my sort of point is I know our clubs aren't doing so good. Arsenal certainly shocking. Tottenham and obviously United, but I just feel as though people are taking football sometimes a bit too seriously. I mean, I think people do forget sometimes it's just a game, and I'm not saying that we don't love the game and we love watching it at the pub and that, but all these other fan channels, just literally like having a meltdown. It's like. It's just a game. There's more important things in life, It's just.
The thing is, Mark. I mean, I think what you get on other fan channels. I'm not saying I watch them too much, but from what I have seen, I mean, I don't blame them for doing it, but because they know that it is, for football, that they're trying to do a fan channel, they have to just make it 100% football, 100%. It gets to the stage where it's almost fake emotion because they're
there's a reason that Arsenal Fan TV, for instance, has the same people on every single week rather than different guys. It's like they've got their characters which get an audience and are popular. People like DT or I don't really, but obviously that is a reason. But you can understand why they do it because they want to get more viewers, and if they have different people every single week who are just saying nice things all the time, then it's not going to appeal to that wider audience. I don't think. But I mean, for me, I look at it both ways. I do think it's just a game at the end of the day. I'm not going to get violent over football or like some of these idiots do on the terraces or whatever. But football does have the capacity to really wind me up or really make me feel very, very happy and buzzing. So it's very emotive football. That's the problem. Like for me anyway, I understand what you're saying. Maybe you shouldn't get too invested in it because it is just a game. But certainly, like when we get hammered 2-0 to Liverpool or whatever, it brings out all these emotions of pure hatred. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I can see it from both points of view, because I know emotionally watching games of football does affect me more than it should. You know.
Yeah, and of course, and partly why I came was obviously seeing the reaction, I suppose. Certainly you, Pig.
Well, that's it. I can't pretend to say that I don't lose my cool or lose my head sometimes after games, because I definitely do. Well, in fact, that Arsenal game the other day, I rewatched the video back of me ranting about Arsenal, and the shade of red that I'm going in that video literally makes me want to go to the doctors, because I don't look healthy, my friend, and I'm getting red, like I'm on the edge of on the verge of a mass coronary or something.
Yeah. This is a good question, because I'll be honest with you, from a personal point of view, before I started, becoming part of the show and becoming the Henry Hotspur or whatever, I was just a regular guy, regular Tottenham Hotspur fan. I'd be happy if we won the game. If we lost the game, I'd be disappointed. But now, because I'm involved with the Pig and the Hen, because I know that we've got a loyal fan base out there that tunes in, wants to hear how we're getting on. It puts extra pressure on my emotions. It's kind of like I'm watching the game thinking, do you know what, actually, I love Tottenham, but I really want us to win as well, because I want to be able to go on the Pig and the Hen show and say, do you know what, Jose's fucking doing a cracking job.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it gives me extra pressure. I've got it in my heart there. And I mean, you probably have it the same, Pig, because you've got the fan channel. It's like, bloody hell, you want the results. You want all the results mean more. It all means more to you, because there's so many people that are relying on what you're going to say about it, that care about what you say about it.
I mean, contrary to popular belief,
pressure's on your shoulders to a certain extent.
Yeah, I definitely prefer when, doing videos when United win, because I'm just in such a better mood. Now, I know other people, and certainly neutrals and rivals, much prefer when we lose, because, all my videos that get the higher views are the ones that are rant videos and we're losing. So I understand that. But for me personally, it adds this pressure on there when we lose, and I've got to get into it. And, do you know what? Sometimes we finish the game and I'm pissed off from losing the game. United lost the game.
And you just don't want to
talk. And then I've got to jump on and do a video.
Exactly.
And sometimes I really don't want to.
Game, if Tottenham lose a game, I just don't want to talk to anyone.
No, exactly.
I just want to forget about it. Maybe next time you do a rant video, maybe just don't do a rant video and just do like 10 seconds of I just don't want to talk about it.
Well, the thing is,
that'd be true though. That'd be real, wouldn't
it? Every time Arsenal play, I'll get a Facebook message, a text from my mates. Oh my god! To be honest, I say to them, I didn't really care.
Yeah.
No, I know we're shocking at the moment anyway, and I'm not trying to play it down, but yeah, I mean, I've got more important things in my life to.
Exactly, you just got to take your licks as well, don't you? Sometimes, like football is, like you say, it's a cyclical thing as well. There's always going to be times when you're up, and always going to be times when you're down. And you just got to take it on the chin when you are down, and know that, well, not know, but hope that one day it will, Arsenal will get back to winning ways. That's what you've got to hope, don't you?
Well, I've been waiting for 20 years for that.
It's a long time coming now, yeah, to be fair, yeah.
It's interesting. I mean, just quickly there, Mark, how did you come across this show, or how did you come across the Pig? Because obviously you're an Arsenal fan. I should have asked the same question to Alex, but I mean, we must have other Arsenal fans. Are you just kind of like, wanderers, some kind of like pirates or something? What is this about?
Well, no, I think I watched YouTube quite a bit back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I obviously seen a few Arsenal channels, but I mean, AFTV, the people they get on there, it's just like, just does my head in. No offense to DT and Troops and whatever. Those guys, it's just
But I know what you mean. The way they do it, it's like they're not coming across as real people. It's just
they're sort of characters,
kind of
aren't they? Like Troops,
in your face character
DT,
media stuff, isn't it? Yeah.
That Claude guy they used to have on. Is he still on there? I don't know. But they had all like their set. Yeah, they got their set sort of characters, and I don't know how many fams and bloods a human being can drop in one sentence. But is that
exactly,
legit?
Yeah.
Is that legit?
I mean, it's that I wouldn't want to say how people speak.
No, but I think is that put on though, is what I'm saying. Do you think that they play up to that and try and drop as many bloods and flams as possible just to get people to comment?
Yeah, it's a little bit. But I think I came across, it was a recommended channel, I think one of your rants, and I was like, I initially come in just to watch your legendary rants and sort of troll you guys, but
Alex Rudge just super chatted. He said the first video of you guys I saw was the Iceland game. So yeah, another negative one.
Wow.
I think we get discovered by neutrals and rival fans, mostly by the negative videos, Hen, if I'm honest.
I remember watching one of the games where you and Henry were in this living room, and Henry was a little bit larger at that moment and had different hair. And it was an England game, that's it, England lost, and you were just absolutely, you lost it completely.
Yeah.
I remember that was one of the first videos I saw.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. So it was an England video.
You and Henry were just sat on the sofa, like a couple of mates, just enjoying the England game.
Okay, because I mean that's almost pre-pig and the
Henry
hen.
Henry looked fucked up back then, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Let's not talk too much about that.
At least £20 more anyway. I can do.
Oh, that's good. It's good that I look better now.
Do, yeah.
You know. But that's the fact is that was literally just we were just doing that for the fun of it rather than that being like a regular thing, because the pig and the hen show started about half a year or even less than that before I actually came out here to China, wasn't it? So
before you
it's
came
not
out,
actually been officially regularly going out.
Yeah.
Yeah, not funny.
Well, I find it funny.
Yeah.
Tickled me pink, mate. Something you know about.
I mean, it hasn't been. Shut your mouth. So it hasn't been going on that long, has it? In fact, we've definitely done more pig and the hen shows since I've been out here than we did sat next to each other.
Yeah, certainly more time and hours and minutes and stuff like that, because we used to just do short pig and the hen shows when we were in person as well. We never did like a 2 hour. This is 2 hours 16 minutes since it's been going. We never did like a 2 hour epic back in the day, I don't think,
Yeah. Well, I could see in the chat a few people, like the Pre-Mot says he came across the years ago. Someone else said the Saints, not Saint. Iceland game, quite popular. I think that's
Ian T said he came across the channel when we were slagging off the done deal videos from other fan channels. So I think it's just a totally different ways that people find it. Yeah. Gungshi at the end here with a super chat, just want to read out. He says the first one I saw was an anti-Moyes rant. Loved hearing Pig tearing into the Ginger Goblin. So yeah, a lot of it's mostly me tearing into people, isn't it?
Well done, Pig. Yeah, not much head, just a tiny bit, just a sprinkle
in. Sprinkling. Nobody really gives a shit about that. No, that's not true.
Right, that's right.
You two, my little last segment. I just want to see who do you think is the biggest fans of your rival? Well, your clubs. You two.
Who's the biggest fan of our clubs? I mean,
who cares more?
It's definitely me. Yeah, it is definitely me.
A little quiz. Are you two up for a little quiz?
Go for it.
Obviously, Hen does Tottenham, and Pig does obviously United.
Yeah, but keep an eye on Pig's fingers.
Yeah,
because he's quick on the fingers tonight.
Are you guys?
I'm fully prepared, my friend. I'm fully prepared. You know why? Because I've been following United my whole entire life. I'm not some new start-up 2008 fan like the fair weather Henry Hotspur over there.
Yeah, but you say that, Pig, and you're never ready for any of the segments.
True.
Melt on the moon.
True.
You didn't even watch
I didn't. True. Okay, but I didn't say I was great at preparation. True. I just said I was born ready for this one.
Right, I've got two sections. So,
bloody hell, Pig! What have we got?
I don't know. He's really thought about this one, though, hasn't he? To be fair, Mark.
I'm nervous now. Well, I know. He's been waiting all his life for this. Hey.
I prepared this over Christmas, and obviously you guys have been away.
Oh, bloody
crikey! So, have you got theme music and everything?
No, I'll do it. Who wants to go first, though? Who wants to go first?
Pig can go first.
I'll go first. Right. Sure.
So But then obviously you go second on the first team round. But so I'll prepare the little segment myself.
Great. This is awesome. This
Go
is
on,
genius
man.
stuff, by the
Bloody
way,
hell,
Mark.
I'm nervous now. I'm actually nervous. I think I'm losing signal now.
Picking a hen quiz.
Awesome.
All right,
Bloody
Pig.
hell.
Okay, round one, Pig. Right.
Yeah.
Obviously, no looking at live chats. Can you name the top 5 goal scorers for United?
Of all time.
Yeah, of all
Wayne
time.
Wayne
Top
Rooney,
5.
Bobby Charlton,
Yeah.
Ryan Giggs.
No.
Ooh.
You get 6 guesses. All right, out of 5. So you've got 2 so far, and you've got
Cristiano Ronaldo.
Four more. No.
Ooh, I'm having a mare here.
3 more guesses. So you got 2 out of 5 at the moment.
Dennis Law.
Yep. 1 more guess. Last guess.
Georgie Best.
No. Got 3 out
That
of 5
was
for
poor.
that round.
That was awful.
Okay. So the answer would have been Wayne Rooney, Bobby Charlton, Dennis Law, Jack Rowley, and Dennis Violet.
Oh, okay. And it's actually pronounced Violet,
Yeah.
to be fair.
Violet. Yeah.
But okay, but that's 2 of them. They're going back. They're going back in the day a little bit. That's a difficult.
All right.
Fair enough, though.
Yeah,
I hope this is similar difficulty
Of
questions
course it
ahead.
All right, so Henry, same question for you. Top 5 for Spurs.
Top 5 goal scorers of all time for Tottenham Hotspur.
Yeah.
Okay. Is
So you're
Jermaine Defoe up there? Is Defoe up there?
No.
He's not. Bloody hell. Okay.
You're struggling. I think Pig might win this.
Gary Lineker?
No.
Oh,
No. Villa?
No. You missed the most obvious one. Come on.
yeah. This is poor, Hen. This is poor. Like, come on, who?
Okay, wait.
Who's at your club now? I'm giving you a clue and everything.
Harry Kane.
Yeah.
Obviously, but I was going to save that one.
One.
Robbie Keane?
Nope.
Oh, that was a good shout, actually. Yeah.
I think
Paul
you got
Gascoigne?
Nope.
David Ginola?
No. I think that's
Teddy
it.
Sheringham?
You've definitely had your guesses now, mate. So.
Bloody hell.
Jimmy
That's
Greaves,
tricky.
mate.
Go on then.
Jimmy
Come out with the
Greaves, your top.
answers.
Jimmy Greaves, your top.
Jimmy Greaves, of course. I should have said Jimmy Greaves. I'm not.
Should have got
Greaves,
Jimmy
the
Greaves.
legend. There's a guy called Bobby Smith.
Okay.
Obviously back in the day, before our time. Obviously, Harry Kane was third. And then Martin Chivers and Cliff Jones. I've never heard of those.
Okay, but do you know what? This is what I mean. Do you know why it's so difficult? It's because Tottenham have been this shit for this long. Do you know what I mean? That these legends are kind of like,
Right.
You know what
Back
I
in
mean?
the day
I should
ones,
know
yeah.
them. Of course, there's
All
no
right,
excuse.
but
No excuse, but there we go.
2, this is fairer. Round 2, this is final round. So obviously, Pigs.
So Pigs win the first round.
Well, the second one. Okay. So Pig, you want to go first? Can you name 5 sponsors, shirt sponsors of United?
Aeon.
Yeah.
AIG. Sharp.
Yeah.
Sharp
Yeah.
View Can. I don't know if that counts as a separate one.
Yeah, Sharp. Fine.
And Chevrolet. Is that 5?
Yeah, one more.
One more.
That's only 4.
Oh, that's 4. Okay. One more. AIG, Chevrolet, going back. Vodafone.
Yeah, all 5 out of 5.
Oh, yeah.
Well, there's more, but yeah.
I like it. I
Henry?
like it.
Now, Henry, you should get this.
Same question, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Hewlett Packard.
Yeah.
AIA.
Yeah.
Mansion Casinos.
Mm-hmm.
We had Holston.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Is it, what, yeah. We've had Autonomy.
I'm not sure of that one.
Autonomy. That's what it was called. That was the recent one before AIA. I'm pretty
Right.
sure that's right.
Okay.
Hmm.
Word. I couldn't find that one, but yeah. You also
I'm
had
pretty sure.
Thompson travels.
Yeah,
as well.
Thompson. There we go. Thompson. I would have got that one. So there we go.
There we go. It's not bad. But I think Pig wins 2-1 though.
Come on, get in there, my
Yeah,
son.
right, okay, I'll accept that.
Although Razak here is also saying autonomy as well, so he thinks that's the correct answer there.
Yeah, it is. I didn't have that one. Yeah, so yeah, I'll take it.
Okay, so I am right. Of course, I'm right.
You done well.
Not
Well,
bad.
but I did win the first round
Pig
anyway.
said,
So
what Pig said was very true. I mean, I did just become a massive fan in 2008, so I have been a massive Spurs fan. I mean, I was always a Spurs fan, but before 2008, I was kind of like a casual Spurs fan. I randomly went down a pub. Right, I'm not ashamed to admit it. Okay, I wasn't massively into it as a young lad. Right, football became a massive part of my life after seeing Jonathan Woodgate put in the winner for us, and we won the Mickey Mouse Cup. The Carling Cup, the League Cup.
Oh god.
But I don't know, and there's something about that game, and it made me think. Do you know what? Yeah, I love Tottenham Hotspur. I'm going to be a massive fan, and that's how it was for me. That's the honest truth. That's how it is.
It is how it is. But yeah, I thought I'd end it on a sort of more fun
Yeah, no,
note,
that was
really.
great, Mark. Honestly, like any time you want to call in and have a different couple of set of questions for us and do,
It could be a new segment,
mate.
couldn't it?
Yeah, like it's quite good to test us about our football clubs. Yeah.
Confess your sins or whatever with the Mark.
Awesome call, mate. Awesome call.
Because everyone in the chat is getting involved as well, so it's quite.
I think people really enjoyed this
Confession.
segment, actually, judging by the live chat.
Confessions with Mark Sins. That's what I'm going to call it.
Yeah, that's a good one. All right, well, we better wrap it up there because time is marching on. But thank you so much for your call there, Mark, and thank you for the quiz. I'm very glad that I beat Henry Hotspur.
Yeah, well, that's just 1-0.
There you go, 1-0 to me.
In the series.
You better get your quiz master head on again for next week's show.
Cheers for having me on, guys. And
thank you, Mark. Always a pleasure.
Top man, Mark. Thank you very much for stopping by. And that was a lot of fun, mate. Have a good one, and we'll catch up soon, I'm sure.
Is there going to be a watch along?
There is, yeah. Watch along tonight for the Burnley game. If anybody was wondering, there definitely will be.
This is why you need someone to produce your show. You got people your own segment. Right?
I know, yeah, that's it. Well, you could be a good suitable candidate, possibly.
I step you right up there. Yeah.
Something about Arsenal supporters. I don't know what it is. Loads of Arsenal supporters just want to help this channel out for some reason.
Well, it's just me and Rudd.
Well, just you and Rudd, yeah.
Because they hate Henry Hotspur. That's why.
True.
Oh no, it's just me and Rudd. But obviously the Saints are Sheffield
fan. There's a couple of others.
We got a Blades fan, have we?
Yeah, the Saint.
The Saint, yeah, you'd think he'd be a Southampton fan, but he's not.
He's a new legend. He's a new legend.
I haven't spoken to the Saint. Interesting.
I did ask him to ring in, but he said he can't. He hasn't got Skype, so.
No worries. Well, yeah.
It's because he's shitting himself. That's why, Mark.
But Pig doesn't actually post in the group how to download it. I mean, it took me a while to work out how to ring in.
Yeah.
So. It'd be nice to get other people to ring up.
I agree. Yeah, I mean, what we need is like this bit over here on the left of the screen where it's got this graphic of Bruno Fernandes at the moment. We should just put some instructions like the actual Hotmail, and what to do. I agree with that, Mark. Yeah.
Very true.
And how to donate to the Pig and the Hen.
You are definitely showing your producer skills here, Mark. So yeah, one for the future, mate.
Candidate for a job position there, Pig. Is that correct?
Well, your channel is the Flying Pig HD, but there's nothing HD about the show.
Very true, I know.
Apart from my actual initials, Mark. I'm not going to say my surname on live here, but those are my initials. That's why.
Yeah,
you're right though. Yeah, I definitely need to. Should change the name to Mr. Flying Pig SD. Really, should I?
Yeah.
STD more like.
Yeah.
480.
Nice one. All right then, Mark. Well, great to hear from you. Thanks for your call. Fantastic call, and we'll speak to you soon then, mate.
Watch along. Cheers,
top
guys.
man. Have a good one. Cheers, Mark.
Cheers,
Bye,
Mark.
Mate. Bye. What a great call there from Mark Sin. Fantastic to hear from him. Fantastic to have him on. Thank you also to Alex Rudd for calling in and Maximilian7 for calling in as well. We probably won't take any more calls for the remainder of the show because we are approaching 2.5 hours. But that was a really fun call.
Probably
man.
won't, or we won't. make your mind up, innit? Probably won't, or definitely won't. Choose one.
We're definitely not. We're going to end it now.
There we go. Be honest about it, Pig, innit? Yeah, we probably won't means we
Why
won't.
are you picking me up on that, though, mate? On my definitiveness?
Don't mislead people out there. Because I'll just be waiting just to give you some shit.
Well, no, that was a fantastic call. I'm very happy that I beat the hen in Mark Sins. We need to come up with a name, like you say, Mark Sins Confessionals or something.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
you know, like you got that whole backseat confessionals thing. Well, we've got like Mark Sins football confessionals here.
Yes, that's good.
No, that was a great call. I really enjoyed that one. Okay, we're going to wrap this show up then, lads and lasses. But once again, shout out to all the callers. Shout out to you guys in the live chat who do make this community what it is. Like Mark was alluding to in that call, like there's the usual legends that support this channel and get in here week in, week out, the regulars. And we really do appreciate all of you, you know, that take the time to tune in. JP, The Saint, Razak, Stefan Harringtonio, Gaming Streams, Gungshi, of course, Alex Rudd, Alex Rincon, the man himself, Mark Sin, Illy United. Who else am I missing out? Get your comments in if you want to shout out the end here. But yeah, thank you to all of you for tuning into the Pig and the Hen show. You can also follow this on, we actually been getting quite a few more audio listeners. If you guys want to listen to the podcast via iTunes or your podcast app or SoundCloud, just search Pig and the Hen Show or Mystifying Pig HD or Pigcast Podcast or any of those things, and you should be able to listen to it on there. I'm going to put them on there. Also, I put the audio now every episode on Patreon as well, so it's downloadable on Patreon and listenable on Patreon. The link is in the description if any of you guys are interested in that. It's just because you'll be able to listen to future shows or past shows rather than just the two that are currently available on your podcast app. Thank you, Eddie Otto, as well, another usual legend who gets in here. Big D, another usual legend. Eddie Otto super chats at the end here and says, top show, guys. Bacon Brigade on the up. Thank you so much. Shout out to Danny as well.
Wait a sec. Bacon and Egg Brigade. Get it right.
Well, he's just shouting out the Bacon Brigade there, to be fair.
Yeah, well, don't read his comment out then.
No, of course, on the Pig and the Hen show, it is the Bacon and Egg Brigade. Gungshi, I think I may have missed one of your super chats as well here, my friend. He says, I saw some of your football quizzes from about 5 years ago. Do you remember that, Hen? We did a Friday night football quiz.
yes. Well, with the JFC
with the JFC Bournemouth and the buzzers. It was absolutely cringe. If you want to see some people, you know, if you want to see more of what Mark Sin created in this show today, then check that out. Gungshi says, I knew Martin Chivers for Spurs because my ma, I think that's ma, or my MU, I'm guessing, or mum, used to take us to London to watch games in the 70s. So he actually knows them. So fair play. Anything to add at the end of the show here then, Hen?
Well, what we need to do, Pig, is just a quick match predict for the two games.
Yeah, true.
United, Burnley, and obviously Tottenham Hotspur, Norwich City. You first.
I'm going 2-1 to United. I think Burnley will give us a tough game. I think we are just that bit better than them at the moment. They'll be very well organised. It'll be difficult to beat them, but I just got a feeling we're going to edge them 2-1.
Yeah, I'm going to go for a 2-0 against Norwich. I think it's time for us just to get a victory. It's time for us to have 2 clean sheets on the trot. I think we can do it against Norwich City at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. They had a good result the other day, which is going to make them feel a little bit better, but I think we're just going to have too much for them. They're the bottom team, and it's
you'll smash them up, mate. You'll smash them up.
Just
Norwich,
to smash a team.
Yeah, you'll smash them up. Yeah, they did win the other day, though, didn't they? Norwich, they got a win, I think. But
they won against Bournemouth. They won against Bournemouth.
Oh, that's it. Yeah. Oh, that's not saying much. They're having a mare. Neil Duffin says 2-0 United. Shout out to you as well, Neil. Razak says 2-0. The Saint says 2-0. So, and a lot of people choosing a victory for United tonight. Hopefully that is the case.
So no one's saying anything about Tottenham. This is what I hate about this channel. It's just such a United channel. It disgusts me. United this, United that. How about a little bit of Spurs love, guys? Come on.
Well, the Primot comments 2-0 United, 3-1 Spurs. So he has weighed in. But to be fair, Henry, this is a United channel. Like 95% of the videos that are put out on the channel are by me talking about Manchester United. So you can't expect to have a large Spurs following. Maybe you should get off your backside, do a little bit of promotion on social media, on Twitter, getting your thoughts and opinions out there and promoting this show. And then maybe we'll pick up a few more Spurs supporters, eh?
No, I don't have your talents.
Well, you do have my talents. That's the thing. It's not even a talent. It's just turning the camera on and talking about your football club. I know you do it because, this is the thing about Henry. Like, back in the day when I convinced Henry to start a YouTube channel called Henry Hotspur or whatever it was. And within like a day, he's got like 300 followers. He's getting 1,000 views on a video, which is just unheard of for starting a channel. Okay, I was helping him out and helping him promote it and stuff. But he's got something. People like the Hen, right? And did he carry on with it? Did he persevere with it? Did he fuck?
Well, was it that good? Was it bloody hell?
Well, considering the size of your channel, the views you were getting on it, it was unheard of, mate. But you didn't carry on with it. You should bring it back.
Yeah, maybe. One day. What we need to do is wait for your channel to explode. And
then you can just piggyback
make my
off
money
that.
off the back of it. Exactly. Exactly. That's
right,
my
okay.
plan, mate.
It's a good plan for you, sure. That's basically what you're doing at the moment, mate, to be fair. You think, like all these, you've got 50% of all these super chats and stuff that's coming. This is a platform that I've built up solely, which you're benefiting from. Hey, anyway, great show today, Hen. Always a pleasure. Great to hear from all the guys who called in. Great to hear from you, usual legends in the live chat. Farn141 as well. Illy United. I'm not sure if I shouted you guys out as well, but everybody else, special shout out to Gungshi, of course, Alex Rudd and Alex Rincon for moderating and all that good stuff. Mark Sin for the great call and the great quiz that we undertook
Mark's
there.
confessionals.
But yeah, please do follow this show on your podcast app as well. And anybody who uses iTunes or whatever, if you could go to the podcast section and leave a 5-star review for the Pig and the Hen show or for Pigcast podcast. I think I need to change it on iTunes, actually, the name of it to Pig and the Hen. But yeah, please do us a favour before you go. Smash a cheeky little like on this video. If you want to give it a share, please give it a share. Also, come back after this video is finished and get your thoughts and comments and opinions in the not live comment section, which also helps us out with YouTube's algorithm. But we will get back to you there also with any of your thoughts and if you want to weigh in on anything we've talked about in this show today.
There we go. I mean, sorry, you said something about it's not called Pig and the Hen on podcasts at the moment. Is that what you said?
It's down as, I mean, you can find it by searching Pig and the Hen show, but it's actually down as Pigcast podcast, because when I set it up years and years ago, this is pre-Pig and the Hen, that's what I set it up as.
Okay.
It's findable by searching Pig and the Hen, but yeah, it's down as Pigcast podcast, which is a shit name.
It doesn't matter. It's absolutely fine. Honestly, I implore anyone to search back for some of the original material, because it's funny viewing now. It really is. If you look back at it now compared to where we are now, obviously we've grown up as everybody else has, and also still on your channel, if you search sudden death mode. I don't know if you can search for that, or if there is a song out there that me and the Pig and a shout out to Tom Rowley out there if you're listening, someone else that we used to be good friends with. We produced this song, or Tom produced it, but obviously we did some vocals on there, and that was we were teenagers.
We were about 18 when we did that song. We were literally
teenagers, and that song is still present on the channel. So for any diehard Pig and the Hen fans out there, I implore you to listen to that. Try to work out who the pig is on there, who the hen is on there, and give us your feedback.
And Gunger's at the end here, he comments and says, Pig and Hen in the car on the way back from playing golf was funny too. Do you know what? We've come a long way, mate, because I was thinking, when we started doing that, I was working quite a lot of hours at the time, and if I'm honest, I took my eyes off the prize a little bit with the YouTube channel, and it sort of became I just couldn't commit that much time to it. And but when we were doing those live podcasts back in the day, Hen, we used to have 12 viewers and stuff like that, 14 viewers. It wasn't much more than that ever, really. But now, we peaked at just over 100 today, I think. We still got 65, which for the end of the show, 2.5 hours in, where we've talked about all sorts of COD, it's actually really great. So the channel's come on a long way just from then, man. If you go back and watch those podcasts, not only the quality is, maybe Mark Sim would disagree, but the quality is a bit better, certainly audio-wise. But also we have grown it a bit, mate, so it's good stuff.
Well, this is it. I mean, for me, you could just see a black screen right now. So, I've come so far.
And Gunga says he remembers the first time he saw someone send a super chat, it was Rincon. And so, yeah, it's just we'll keep going. It's good fun. I mean, I'll keep doing my thing, keep doing all the post-match reactions. This is a show that I know a lot of people do like. So we'll grow this as well, and this is like the podcast platform for the channel. It's brilliant, mate. I really enjoy doing this, and the most fun I have on this channel, probably because I'm just talking to my mate Henry here, to be fair, for most of it, is doing these. It's not doing the rants. It's not doing the wins after we wins. It's in all honesty, it is doing these. So I enjoy doing this
The pig and the
for
hen
fun.
show. Call it what it is.
Yeah. Ian T comments, watch along later, pig. Yeah, just to let everybody know who's not already heard it, definitely doing a watch along later for the Burnley game. So I think the game's 8:15 kickoff tonight, which is a bit random. So we'll get going around about 8 o'clock. So come back on the channel later on, Flying Pig United, for the watch along. But we'll wrap this show up now, Henry. I know we've been going on a long time, almost coming up to 2 hours 40 minutes. So thank you for joining me. Thanks for a great show. Thank you to all of you out there for tuning in. Do chuck a like on it, subscribe, and all that good stuff. Like I say, follow us on the iTunes and the podcast app and all that good stuff. Social media, Mr. Flying Pig HD for me, Henry_Hotspur for Henry. He doesn't go on there, but you can follow him if you want. That's it then, folks. That is it. It's the end of the Pig and the Hen show for today, which is the 22nd of January, 2020. United play Burnley later. Spurs are playing also. We'll catch up with you very, very soon with some more content. Anything to say at the end, Hen?
Nah.
Great stuff. So you've been watching the Pig and the Hen show. I've been the pig.
I've been the hen. Buck, buck.
And we will see you very soon indeed. Have yourselves a bloody good one.
Love you.
Pig and the hen. Pig and the pig and the hen.
Pig and the Hen show, Pig and the Hen show, Pig and the Hen show. Pig and the Hen show, Pig and the Hen show.
So there we have it. That's the end of the show, lads and lasses. It's time for the Patreon credits. Shout out to all these guys here on this list who support the channel on Patreon. New subscriber or follower or supporter this week is The Saint, who Mark Sim was talking about earlier on, a legend of the channel, a Sheffield United fan, and he is now supporting the channel on Patreon. I haven't added you to this list at the end here yet, but I will do very soon, The Saint. That's why I'm giving you a personal shout out. But Alex Rudd, Alex Rincon, Ecolul, Matt Norton, Lucinda Green, Robbo, who else is there? Gungshi, of course, is a classic, Liam White, Jarvis Cocker, Pete Miller, Wallace Montcroy Stewart, Marshall Graller, and also The Saint. Thank you to each and every one of you. Thanks for stopping by. Like, subscribe, comment. Links in the description if you want to check this out also and help support the channel. Stay classy. I'll see you later for the watch along. Come on, United!